Welcome to the garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams. Hey, we got some new tournaments to enter: the poodle, the single entry, which is actually called the corgi, and the pit bull. So you know we have to getting into these tournaments. 20 max for the poodle, one of my favorites. 10 max for the pit bull, a single entry $5 tournament for the corgi. Love to see it. Before we get into those, I've got two $3 schnauzers left to do. Don't tell me it closed. Okay, there it is. Boom, I see the schnauzer. So yeah, I was watching the fill rate on the schnauzer 2, making sure it didn't close. It's at 93%. I'm going to rip two 20-second schnauzer 2s tonight, and then let's get into a poodle, maybe a pit bull. Who knows? If you're watching this in the future, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the like. Come get in the chat. Ask your fantasy football strategy questions here. A lot of sharp people in this community. Happy to help. Get your questions answered. And we've got great fantasy football and best ball, especially content, all best ball summer long. We had the BALLSY show on BINDLES channel last night. Make sure you're subscribed to BINDLES channel, and make sure you're subscribed to Neil Orfield's channel. Of course, you already are. Neil came on as a guest for the BALLSY show. If you haven't already seen it, check that one out. BINDLES channel last night, and the show is every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. We go back and forth between this channel here, the garage, and BINDLES channel over there. Great stuff. Really fun time. Some nice drafts and some good laughs. So we've got a lot coming up in the next week. We're going to be doing some FFPC content with Hartman later this week. So stay tuned for that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And we got all these new tournaments to do. So like I said, come get in the chat, draft with us, and let's get it. Let's get these drafts. They're not going to draft themselves. You know how it goes. Without further ado, let's hit the intro clip. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words. What's up, everybody? How we doing? How's your Tuesday night going? Sorry for the delay. Hey, you know how things go. We got to draft when the house is quiet, when the kids are asleep, when the dog's been walked and fed. And, so you got to take time for those things. We're here now. We're drafting. We're live. Plenty of time to rip these drafts. I'm entering the schnauzer now. I said I would do it, so I'm going to go ahead and enter. Waiting on 3 more. I know a lot of you guys have maxed the schnauz. But let's get it. Let's see if we can wrap this tournament up tonight. Here we go. Bindles in the chat. Appreciate you coming out early. Firing on all cylinders. Incredible stream last night with Neil. Getting it done. Steve Schaub, what's up, brother? How you doing? Hope your Tuesday is going well. Love the solo streams lately. The Steve solo streams. Good stuff. Got Nick Bach in here winning the flex. Always good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope your week's off to a good start. Lalsamo. Hi. Green Bean. What's up, brother? How you doing? Hey. Putt Daddy. One of the OGs holding it down. Good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Got any picks for the Rocket Classic this week? They changed the name. It's no longer the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Kind of a mouthful. It's the Rocket Classic. Got any picks? I got to make my one and done pick. I'll do it tomorrow. I've listened to a few pods, but I got to do some more research. It's been a while. Jason Calhoun, the world famous Huron River Rat. How we doing? Good evening, all. Yes. David Lutomsky. Yo, What's up, brother? Steph Miller in the house. Hey, yo. How you doing, Steph? Hope your week is off to a good start. And what are you drafting these days? You getting into these pit bulls? Thad on real time. Hashtag I know ball. Facts. Saw Thad holding it down. I forget what stream we were in. It might have been Best Ball Breakfast. It might have been Ship Chasing. I don't know which stream we were in, but Thad was holding it down. 30, what up, brother? Glad I'm not the only one showing up late. Yep, late to my own show. Don't you know? But that's the way it goes. You guys understand. I would have sent an update. I would have changed the time. I would have, tweeted it. I would have chatted into the chat, but my phone was put down. I was on full on dad mode. So, but we did it. Just a few extra puppet shows, just a few extra books, just a few extra pretend doctor checkups on stuffed animals. Now we're here. We're drafting. Let's get after it. Got to max the Schnauzer. I'm very excited that they dropped these other tournaments and it slowed down the fill rate for the Schnauzer because I was getting worried that it was going to fill and I'd only be 18 entries in. I didn't want to do any more slow drafts. I'm still wrapping up those slow German Shepherds. I've got a bunch of them, like 10 of them left in slow drafts. There's one of them I just saw was in round 11. And it's like 2.5 weeks ago. So it's unbelievable. I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs there. Seems like a great pick. No, we are here. We're live. We're getting it. In my early A-Rod, what up, brother? Shout out to the Swifties. I need proof of life. See, I usually do. I usually hop into the YouTube chat. I post a little chat. I say, yo, what up? I'm running late. Those kind of things. But bedtime took a little bit longer than usual. Yep. Here we go. Let's go. Hey, that's me. Colin Biff Tannen, a.k.a. in the 5 spot, getting the CeeDee Lamb, getting it going tonight. What's up, brother? How you doing? Not going to do them slow for the last Schnauzers. Nah, I got to rip them fast. Got to get them fast, but I am going to do some poodles or a pit bull tonight after I rip these two 20-second Schnauzers. Get them over with. 2 Schnauzers left. You hoarded them. I did. I mean, you guys raced to finish them early, and I did them all by fast, and I kind of paced myself. So let's see. Gibbs, Brock Bowers. That seems fine. I can roll with that. We're going to play some catch up at wide receiver, but this is where we work the magic. This is where, we get sharp. Make sure I have it filtered to all tournaments. Shout out to the Best Ball Overlay, bestballoverlay.com. I've actually been looking at my portfolio lately, and God, it looks good. It could look better, but it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. We'll get into more of that later. Bowers with Gibbs? Yes. Yeah, looks like 1 Best Ball Mania and 1 Schnauzer previously. So you guys know I'm pretty high on Gibbs. I take Bowers when I can. I don't want to be out on Bowers at all. So I want to make sure I get some Bowers too. Also saw, what did I see? Bucky went pick 18 to the Christian McCaffrey drafter. Ladd goes at 21 to the Bijan Robinson team. That's kind of a nice combo. Actually, a really nice combo. That's nice right there. That's pretty unique. That's different. Yeah, Steph. Hartman and I'm sure we'll see him around here at some point tonight soon. Hopefully. We are drafting an FFPC Big Gorilla on stream Saturday night, this Saturday. More details coming soon. And then I think we're going to go live Thursday night to draft some Underdog together. And we're going to talk about our FFPC strategy, how the tournament is different, and the tight end premium, being, redraft, not best ball, all of those details. And looking at kind of our favorite players that we'd want to target. So yeah, that's coming up soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. Excited to get into that. I've been diving into the FFPC content lately. I feel like I'm getting my legs under me. I mean, it's easily Devontae Adams, right? Let's think about this. Take a lot of Devontae Adams. Otherwise, what else would we do here? No, it's Devontae Adams. It's got to be Devontae Adams. I would have taken maybe Tyreek Hill just to get different, change up the exposures. But after Neil came on stream last night with Bindles and I, and he gave his ballsy take of the week, that he said that Tyreek Hill was not going to finish as a top 36 receiver this season. Got to pump the brakes a little bit. I think it's a pretty strong take, and it's definitely ballsy, and it's definitely not the most likely scenario, but it also can happen. And so I like it. I thought it was fun. Ooh, 8 more slows. Don't sign me up for that. Fill those suckers so UD drops more. Shake my head. Yeah, we're trying to. Who Hames get into slow? Yo, Dale. What's up, sir? You maxed the Schnauzer. Very nice. I have maxed the Schnauzer 1. I'm about to max the Schnauzer 2 tonight. And then I'll throw it out to the chat. Do we rip a poodle? Do we rip a pit bull? Has anyone done the corgi yet? That's what I'm curious about. I knew when I saw the corgi that it was going to take a while to fill. The single entries go slower. The Greyhound is still not full, not even close to filled, which is interesting. I did my Greyhound like 2 weeks ago. Maybe could have waited, but whatever. I think my Greyhound ended up pretty nice, though, if I remember correctly. I mean, when Jaden Daniels is there, I've already got the elite tight end, though. How do I play this one? I can't pass up Jaden Daniels. So we're going to take Jaden Daniels, Devontae Adams, Jameer Gibbs with Brock Bowers. I have a rule. I will never pass Jaden Daniels in the 4th round. Unless I'm like right at the turn. I really don't want to pass Jaden Daniels in the 4th round. So I'm going to take him here, even though I've got Brock Bowers. I'm playing a double elite. I've got the elite QB, the elite tight end. We're going to have to play catch up at wide receiver. Most likely go Gibbs as the anchor running back for this build. I think that makes the most sense. Just hammer receivers through the next couple rounds and make it out of here. Luckily, it doesn't seem like much of an avalanche room. Pretty conservative. A lot of teams have 2 or 3 running backs at this point. George Kittle goes pick 44 to Biff Tannen. I think that's a savvy pick. I'm pretty in on George Kittle this season, of course. Typically, I would love to get him in the 5th round, but taking him in the 4th round ahead of some of these other receivers makes a ton of sense to me, too. Steph's done some poodles because they were feeling faster. Haven't done any pit bulls yet. Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's the move. We did one poodle last night after the Best Ball Mania stream draft with Neil and Bindles. We did a poodle as well, and I think that's the move because it's just feeling faster. So I'm probably going to jump into a poodle after we finish off these 2 schnauzers, and I think that's the way to do it. Because yeah, they're feeling pretty fast. So we're going to have to rip a bunch of poodles because I'm not entering slows, and I am going to max it. Sweet. Okay. I really thought that Biff Tannen, aka Cullen, was going to go for George Pickens there. I want Pickens on this one. Gives me a nice bring back for my week 17 with Jaden Daniels, of course, but also just really in on Pickens, getting him past ADP. Got to give me some more. Love it. George Pickens with Dak. My ballsy take of the week was I think Dak could finish as a top 3 quarterback on the year. So George Pickens would be a large part of making that come true, no doubt. Yeah, if Colin had taken, or if anyone had taken Pickens at that point, I probably would have gone Travis Hunter, and then also considered Ridley. Hunter's been falling. Him going in pick 57 here that's a pretty far fall. Let me know what's the furthest you've seen Travis Hunter fall. Have you seen Travis Hunter go past or at pick 60? I haven't seen that yet, but if Travis Hunter goes back to the 6th round, maybe that's just the way it goes. Maybe that's where he should be. I don't know. He might get pinned back in this 59-60 range to pair with the Brian Thomas teams occasionally. That could be a thing. Forcing my slows to time out. Incredible. What up, Disbanded? How you doing, my friend? A BBO breakdown's a good idea. Yeah, it'll be pretty fun. I mean, we've done 47 Best Ball Manias. I've done 150 tournaments in total since the NFL draft. So I'm pretty, it's time to reflect and take some inventory on what I've drafted on these things. I did some of that earlier today. It was really interesting. I shared it in the Pounders Discord, in the overlay section, but I have like 18.5% J.K. Dobbins, and I take a lot of Jerry Jeudy. I also take Jennings. I don't know why. I'm gonna go Jennings on this one. Just changing it up. So I have a ton of J.K. Dobbins, and my average draft pick for J.K. Dobbins, I want to say it's around pick 185. That my average across all my drafts. So that was pretty cool. I've got like 60 picks of ADP value to this point on him, just about like 50 or 60 points. So that's cool to see. He makes a lot of my drafts look good. And then a lot of the ones where I have like Colston Loveland look bad because he's fallen. Another player who's fallen, pretty much all of the tight ends. So I don't know how that, all of the tight ends, a lot of the ones I have drafted have kind of fallen a little bit. So that doesn't help. It doesn't help. Yo, what up, Christopher Lee Johansson the third? How you doing, brother? Thanks for stopping in. Oh, Toronto. You're thinking Bindles. So Bindles is from Toronto. I'm in Houston, and I went to school at UT, the University of Texas. And I still go back to Austin about once a month. Used to live in Austin also. My parents live there. So there's the explanation. Appreciate you stopping by. What are you drafting tonight? Are you getting into these new tournaments, brother? But there's a lot of Canadians out here. You got to watch out for them. You got Bindles, you got Cody, you got Danny and Bush from the Fantasy Stock Exchange. A lot of Canadians out here. Surprisingly, they're taking over the fantasy football space. I love it though. I love hanging out with all these different people, talking ball, people all over the country, all over the world. Shout out to the listeners out there, the viewers out there, the drafters from other countries. Appreciate you guys being here as well. Patrick, what's up, brother? Just did Justin Jefferson and Bowers. That's a sick start. Oh, I remember doing some of those in the big board. I like that. I like that start a lot. It's a fun way to play it. That's a fun way to play it because you feel like you could just have every single target, like the leader in target share at the tight end position, and then of course Justin Jefferson. Enough said. Okay, so through my first 7 rounds, I went with Gibbs, Bowers, Devontae Adams, and Jaden Daniels. I had the double elite at the QB in the tight end position. So then now I'm playing catch up at wide receiver, and I think I've gotten there because I took George Pickens, Jawan Jennings, and Matthew Golden. I've got 4 wide receivers. I feel pretty good about that depth. And then 3 other picks. I think I have recovered. I think we're in a good spot. Maybe time for one more receiver. If not, if there's a running back value that I really like, I could pivot to that. I just realized, I passed up on Deebo Samuel at pick 67. I could have done that. I don't think it's absolutely necessary to force the stack, and I'm a slight fade on Deebo. So I'm happy that I got the Pickens bring back with Daniels, and then I'll just kind of see what I can do later to get some more Commanders team stack going on with my Jaden Daniels. But I'm definitely going to take. It sounds crazy. You couldn't have convinced me this last season or even 2 years ago when anytime before what we saw happen in 2024. So, but you couldn't have convinced me before last season. But Jawan Jennings ahead of Deebo Samuel, strange times. Saquon Bowers in a best ball mania yesterday. That's fun too. You're in a similar situation. You kind of got to dig yourself out like I'm doing. Because honestly, a Saquon Bowers is like a different variant of my Gibbs Bowers start. So James, who'd you take for your first wide receiver or two? I mean, what I had to do, I ended up taking Jane Daniels. So then I'm even further behind the 8 ball, but I could have easily taken DJ Moore, Xavier Worthy, DK Metcalf there in that spot, Devonta Smith there. Jalen Hurts had already gone on the board, so I felt like it was the right spot to do it. Ooh, Jaden Reed almost comes back around to pick 91. That would have been insanely good. So I'm probably going to go Mooney or Downs. What should I do? Should I take Downs or should I take Mooney? I've got so much Mooney. It makes a ton of sense on this team, though, with Devontae Adams. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Otherwise, Downs, still a great pick, still a player I really like. Let me go Mooney and just hope they pass the ball, a ton, which I think they will. I did see some interesting Twitter analysis on Josh Downs maybe being the let off valve or kind of, check down option for Daniel Jones. And that's what got Wan'Dale Robinson to 140 targets in large part last season. So maybe Downs kind of fills that role and then gets a ton of targets. I still like Mooney spike weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and take Mooney at pick 91. And I think I've dug myself out of the hole at wide receiver. Get a nice little bring back for my week 17 game, Monday Night Football in Atlanta, the Falcons versus the Rams. So I've got Devontae Adams and Darnell Mooney, a piece of that. I could also try to maybe set up either Stafford or Penix later. I got it out with Love. I got an out with Purdy. Even Dak could make sense on this one. Geno. I mean, even Goff, if he comes at a big discount. I've been seeing Goff fall quite a bit. I've seen Goff go pick 128. I've seen him go pick 130, 140. It's crazy. Sometimes these pocket passing quarterbacks will fall if people just decide they don't want to take him or they're not in the right spot to take him. Skyaboo's been falling, but I'm not falling for it. I'm going to keep drafting him. I don't love the Jalen Warren pick. I drafted 20% Jalen Warren last season. Didn't really help me in any way. So I'm going to take Skyaboo. Just trust what the coaches are saying, what Dayball's been saying. They drafted him for a reason. He's going to get the work. I know he's good. He's got the stats. He's got the film. He's got it all. But he does seem to be falling. I think all of the rookies, one thing I noticed from the best ball overlay, if we go here and we just look at the free ADP and rankings, you can see the risers and the fallers here. I know it's a little bit zoomed out, but it's small text. Maybe I can zoom in one time or twice. So like the fallers, Besh, Burden, Knoll, Blue, Loveland, to name a few. All rookies. Rookies are falling is one of the key takeaways. Scattaboo's been falling as well, but I'm packing big bags of Cam Scattaboo. Finishing the Poodle tonight, and we'll start on the Pitbull next. Putt Daddy, you're a savage. You're a maniac. You're insane. I love it. A total degen. Finishing the Poodle tonight, I'm very impressed. I've only done one. So I'm going to rip at least one tonight, if not two. Maybe. How many can we get into? How fast can we rip these drafts? FFPC's where the money's at. Colin, I'm hoping so. Let me know if you've got any good articles, any research, any podcasts, any YouTube vids I can look into specifically, do some research. I religiously follow RotoViz, so I consume a lot of their content. I'm consuming the actual content from the FFPC Twitters and YouTubes. So I feel like I'm on top of some of it, but there's a lot out there. And I used to, wow, Fields is falling. Do we just scoop up Fields? Warren's still there. I think that's the move then, is grab Warren, because I don't draft him a lot, but if I'm going to take him, I want a huge ADP value. Crazy part is Fields is still there. It just doesn't make a ton of sense for me on this build where I have so many outs with late QBs to take Fields there when I already have Jaden Daniels. So it just didn't make a ton of sense. Kind of mean, Dak went early, pick 101 to Cullen. He also gets Fields. Nice grab there. Nice ADP value on Fields. I got a ton of Fields. This just wasn't the Fields team for me. Jalen Warren, I get some nice ADP value on too. But yeah, if anyone's got good FFPC content, research, analysis, recommendations, throw them in the chat. Tag me on Twitter at FFB Garage. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at FFB Garage. You'll know when I'm going live. I'm always promoting all of the good content within the community that I'm aware of and interacting with y'all too. So that's a fun place to find me. And then make sure you hit the like on this stream. I appreciate y'all. I will check the poll. Maybe we'll do it before the last pick in this draft. If I remember, if you guys can remind me, we'll look at the poll. I was asking about Pacheco. So make sure you answer the poll. Make sure you hit the like. And if you're new, if you're watching this in the future, subscribe to the channel. Come draft best ball teams with us all summer long. Come hang out and be a part of what's going on here. Appreciate y'all, as always. Yeah, I'm hoping it's where the money's at. I'm hoping we can do something. I've got Hartman on my team. So I think, the brain trust coming together. Hopefully we can get something good cooking up. Obviously, I don't need a tight end. I could go Love here. I take a lot of Love. I like it. ADP, it would take me to Ramondre or I'm going to see if I can push Love a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and grab Ramondre, get some more ADP value, get some more depth at running back. And I do feel really good at wide receiver. We've already hit the wide receiver cliff. We've made it. We're there. Maybe Love comes back around. If he doesn't, Dak was gone. Purdy was gone. If I can't throw Love into the mix, I'll go for Penix or not Stroud or Geno Smith later. And then, of course, Stafford. I can go Stafford super late. So him and Geno, I've got options there. I'm not going to force the Love pick. I'll kind of keep pushing Love and see where I end up. ETN's been rising. He goes pick 95 in this draft. I took ETN pick 97 recently. I lied. I did do my second poodle during PPR Tyler's stream earlier today, which was a lot of fun. Just a quick one. I got the 101 spot. Never happens. Didn't know what to do. So I went Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, Devontae Adams. I can't stop drafting Devontae Adams. I'm addicted. And then I took Matthew Golden and Jaden Reed on the same team at the turn at pick 72, 73. Jaden Reed goes 89 in this one, kind of crazy, but it was fun. And I did get Love later on. So I've got and then I went on the draft. I drafted every single relevant Bengals player except for T. Higgins. I had Jamar Chase, Chase Brown. I had Joe Burrow. I had Taj Brooks. I had Andre Yoshivas. I had Mike Gesicki. So I had 6 Bengals on the squad. And then I had double stacked Packers. Felt good. Felt like a really fun team. Derek, do you think this is too absurd? I think it's just absurd enough, but you never know. Okay, Stafford goes super early. That's weird. I will take Love here. Get it over with. Get him here. There's no one else I'd rather have. Yeah, it's Love. Crazy. So I get Love at 139. Stafford goes at 138. It seems crazy, but they're honestly probably closer in reality than we like to think. Stafford could just be him, have a huge year. He's got Puka. He's got Devontae Adams. And that's not even the Puka drafter, but someone who just believes, someone who took Josh Allen at pick 31 and then Stafford at 138. I've done some Stafford, Josh Allen teams. I actually just finished a German Shepherd where I had Josh Allen, Puka. I think I also had Devontae Adams, Matthew Stafford, and then I took Daniel Jones, my last overall pick. I had Josh Downs, either Downs or it was Tyler Warren, but just getting different, taking. One thing that I was talking with Neil and Bindles about last night was I think it makes a lot of sense. Ooh, and there goes Geno Smith at 146. Crazy. I think it makes a lot of sense to take an 18th round quarterback like a Shuck, a Dart, Daniel Jones. I think it can just, even if you've got him skinny stacked or hardly stacked at all, I think it can provide some nice value. Okay, well, Penix goes. That's fine. Was kind of anticipating that, anyways. I could do Blue. I could do Eckler or Algier. They all make a ton of sense on this team. Garindo would make some sense. By ADP, it's Blue, although he's been falling. I'm going to grab Blue here. I'm a believer. I'm in pick 150. I think he will fall to about that range anyways, but I'll grab some Blue. Upside pick, more, leaning back into that week 17 game of the Commanders and the Cowboys. Yeah, just ripping it, Who Hames. I think I'll hold mine for a while too, Jason. That makes sense. Saving the Corgi. Okay, we're all in the same. Dale, stick around. We'll do some poodles, brother. We'll get him in. Damn, nice. Nice win, Jason. Incredible. Yeah, that's a huge win. Matt Henry, what's up, brother? How you doing, sir? Hope you're having a great Tuesday night. What are you drafting these days? What are you getting into? Let me know. Are you doing poodles? Are you doing pit bulls? Have you done your corgi? Yeah, awesome, Jason. I'm going to scroll down. I hope you're hooking me up with some research, some content. Yeah, I know Steph's in the streets. Smash the like, everyone. Appreciate you, Matt Henry. Well, an eliminator is different, but I totally get what you're saying, James. And a 73 is incredibly late, even for an eliminator. I mean, that's round 6, 7 turn. That's crazy talk. That's wow. But it's happening. Okay, the running backs that I wanted all went. George Pickens, this guy knows ball. See, if you draft George Pickens enough, Bindles will just randomly appear in the chat. Love to see it. Hope you're doing good. Hope your Tuesday's going well, my man. Dubs. Get the dub. Secure the dub. Get the W. I think that's what I want to do. Leggett, QJ. Okay, it's dubs, right? Or look at the tight end real quick. Okay, it's dubs. It's dubs. Boom. And he's past ADP. It's hard to get dubs past ADP. I feel like everyone's willing to take him on any given team, but I get him stacked here for the golden dubs. Get the W, double stack. I just realized with the Mooney, I've got 3 wide receivers on a week 5 bye. But hey, last time I checked, you don't win any money in week 5. We're playing for week 17. So we'll make it through. We got to. There's not that many. There's only 4 teams of the week 5 bye. You have Pittsburgh Steelers, Atlanta Falcons, the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears. But somehow because I draft a ton of Packers, I draft a good amount of Falcons. If I ever end up drafting even like one Steeler or a Bear, I end up with a lot of week 5 buys, which is kind of funny. Week 8 is the real 6-team buy overlap situation. I do have some week 8 with Gibbs, Adams, Bowers. So my first 3 picks, right? But like I said, you don't win any money in week 8. You got to get there. You got to get to week 15, 16, 17. No, not a Rodgers team, not a Daniels team. I think I'm done with at 2 QBs probably. But like I said, if there's a QB available in round 18, I'll consider it. In Love and Daniels is plenty strong, so I like that. I will grab Ertz here most likely. Yep. Okay, let's do it. 2, 5, 6, 2 build with Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Gibbs, Scattaboo, Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, Jaden Blue. You're my boy, Blue. Devontae Adams, George Pickens, Jawan Jennings of the San Francisco 49ers, Matthew Golden stacked. Darnell Mooney, the bring back for week 17 with Adams. I didn't get Stafford. Stafford went early. I would have taken Stafford. I would have taken Geno. Geno went early for my Brock Bowers. But I get Mooney, Dubs, Bowers, and Ertz. This team's coming along nicely. Tack on one more receiver, maybe two, maybe one more running back, maybe another tight end. Probably not. Maybe though. Even with Bowers, I'm not afraid to get 3 tight ends just because you can, because they're so cheap. They're a great value late when the other positions have kind of dried out. But I could also just take another swing at running back, or like I said, if for some reason there's a QB that makes any sense in round 18, that could be fun. For Dak's health, it's a roller coaster. He's hurt. He's healthy. He's hurt. He's a top 3 quarterback. He's a top 5 quarterback. He's hurt. But could be. Could be. Stroud takes a lot of hits. Yeah, that's so true. Who Hames? The tight ends are falling. Hook 'em horns, baby. Shout out to Steph. Holding it down in D-Town. Knows all about the horns. I would think so. Outside of Austin, Dallas is probably the biggest city with like the most Longhorns, and then it's going to be probably Houston third, just the way it feels. Yeah, I'll take Alec Pierce here. Get some Alec Pierce. See what's going to come back around at running back. Hook 'em. Bindles, Schneid, Alec Ayomanor, Chuba Hubbard. Gosh, I used to know so many more Canadians off the top of my head. Players, that is. Who else? Gosh, there's one more. There's an easy one. Not sure. Oh, hook 'em, brother. Christopher Lee Johansson III. That's a mouthful. What a name. Christopher Lee Johansson III. Hook 'em. Unstacked QB reach, happy mayhem, and the best way to describe my most recent drafts. Yeah, it happens. Oh, let me look. You're pulling out the research. Let's do it. Oh, Justice Hill goes. If I took Sanders, I could have locked down the whole backfield. I've been taking a good amount of Keenan Allen in these German Shepherds, my slow German Shepherds. Okay, I think the move is to go Jarquez. Jarquez Hunter. I draft him a ton. I'm like, geez, he's probably one of my most drafted. He is one of my most drafted players. We can check the best ball overlay. 21% here. And if we look over here so this is portfolio pro and Hunter showing up as my third most drafted player. Hey, right behind Mooney and Jordan Mason. I also got and Matthew Golden. What are the odds that I have Mooney, Hunter, and Golden all on the exact same team I'm drafting right now when those are 3 of my 5 most exposed players? What are the odds? Well, pretty damn high considering I draft them in 20% of my drafts. So we'll keep doing that. I guess I'm taking some player stands on those guys. They're all pretty cheap too. I guess Golden's the most expensive. That running back room looks really nice to me. Probably stop with those 6. 2, 6. I mean, I have 1 pick left. Do I take a receiver like Jalen Lane? Dirty was saying. McLaurin, Metcalf, Pickens, then Trayvon Henderson. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's how you dug yourself out of that team. Yeah, McLaurin and Metcalf and Pickens is really solid. I like those 3 when you started with Saquon and Bowers. If I had gone Downs earlier, I mean, I could still do it if he's there. No, he goes. Danny Dimes goes. I don't have any way to get to Dart except for the fact that he does play Bowers in week 17, but I don't know. I might just go with tight end. Yeah, I'm not going to take Dart on this one. Or should I? I don't know. Be easy for me to get Juwan Johnson or Terrence Ferguson. Feel pretty good. Dart's there. Let me go Terrence Ferguson for some late season upside. I've already got Hunter. I've already got Adams. Throw in one more Ram. Yeah, the week 8 bye overlap again, but Ertz can hold it down that week. And then I'm just looking for more depth at the tight end position for the playoff weeks so that I can kind of overlap those. At the tight end position, I need one of those guys to hit. Bowers could even hit my flex. So, I want one of these guys to hit. Ideally, it'd be Bowers. But if I look at the probability distributions of their scoring for weeks 15, 16, and 17, and then I overlap those with Bowers, Ertz, and Ferguson, it's a little bit easier to hit high-end outcomes. And with Bowers, and then protect my floor by tossing in a guy like Ferguson who just needs to hit a touchdown. So for whatever reason, if Bowers and Ertz don't have a great week 15 or don't have a great week 16, but then Terrence Ferguson comes on late in the season and has a nice little game, that could be more powerful than just throwing in one more wide receiver who's not really going to hit my lineup because I've already spent so much draft capital to cover those starting positions. Same thing at running back. I already had so much depth. Maybe there's a league winner in here, like a Taj Brooks, Rashard Smith, Dylan Sampson, maybe. So I could have done that to get one more swing. I kind of used my Jarquez Hunter pick and my Jaden Blue picks as those swings to get league winners. I'm really making a big assumption that Scattaboo can get it done. If not, Warren. And I got a nice little fall on him. And then the Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love picks for my QB. So 2, 6, 7, 3 build. I think this can work. I only have this skinny stack with Ertz, but I've got bringbacks with Blue and Pickens. I've got a mini with my Rams players and Darnell Mooney. I don't have any bringbacks on the Ravens. I feel like even though I drafted a ton of Packers, it's pretty hard for me to get in some Ravens players. They all go early, and the ones that go late, like Hopkins, I don't love. I would have to get Andrews, and he wouldn't have made sense in this build with Bowers. And then Hopkins, like I said, I'm not super in on him. I would have liked to have gotten Bateman. I don't think I had a great chance of getting him here, where Bateman went at pick 110, and I was more concerned about getting running backs in that window. So that's how that one goes. I said I was going to close the poll. Let's jump right into another 20-second schnauzer. So I'm going to enter it now. 20-second schnauzer now. So I just put in the chat that I'm entering it now. I'm going to hit it on the screen. It's my 1 of 1, my last schnauzer. Let's rip it. Waiting on 2. And then I said I was going to close the poll. Let me close that poll. I'll just do it over here. Make sure you vote in the poll before I close it. Make sure you slap the like. Appreciate y'all being here. Lighten it up in the chat. Sweet, we got 29 likes. Very good. Let's get that number up. Let's get to 30. Let's get to 30 by the end of this draft. 29, 30. Let's get to 40 by the end of this draft. Do me a solid. Okay, I'm going to close this poll. Make sure you vote 3, 2, 1. Let's see the outcome. Is Pacheco draftable at ADP? Hell yes. League winning upside 66%. So 24 people, and then 12 people said, hell no, he's a trap. If you voted trap, let me know why he's a trap. If you voted hell yes, that he's draftable as ADP. I think that's the conclusion I've come back around to. He's been rising a ton in ADP lately. He's one of the biggest risers. Let's go back to the best ball overlay, the free feature for the ADPs and rankings. You know, who are the top risers? Pacheco is in there. I only have it in the top 5 right now, and I'm on the clock. But Pacheco is one of like the top 10 risers since Best Ball Mania opened at the running back position. I mean, am I wrong? What were we looking at? Running backs, risers. Harvey's the biggest. I mean, since open, let's do 30 days. In the last 30 days, it's been Dobbins, Chubb, Sanders, Etienne, Davis, Wright, Mason, Pacheco. Yeah, right in the top 10 risers in the last 30 days, and pretty much the whole draft, the whole start of the NFL. It might look a little bit small on the screen. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Boom, boom. But this is the bestballoverlay.com. This is a free feature you can use. You can check out yourself. It's the ADP and rankings. And then boom, if you get into the pro version, which is a premium feature that I have access to, that I love to use. It's also what I've got when you see me drafting, and it shows my exposures. When you see my player combinations, that's the best ball overlay. Check it out, bestballoverlay.com. And use code GARAGE. If you're a new user, if you want to sign up for Best Ball Overlay, you can use code GARAGE to get 20% off on your monthly subscription. I think it's a great deal. I used promo code Pounders when I signed up, but use code Garage now. You can get in here to have some fun. If you're a high volume drafter, I think this is a great tool. I wouldn't recommend anything that I didn't already use myself, that I don't love, that I don't believe in. And I think it's super fun. So like we can look at like my top players. We can filter it to just all tournaments. We can filter it to just Best Ball Mania or whatever. Going to see pretty much the same outcome though. Mooney, Mason, Hunter, Fields, Golden, all players I'm above 20% exposed to. And that's about where I want to be. I don't want to be over 20 to 23% exposed to any given players. I'd rather stick kind of around that where I was. So when I hit refresh here, you'll see the best ball overlay show up. This is the combo tool. I've drafted 17 Justin Jefferson teams across all of my tournaments. I could filter that just Best Ball Mania, whatever. My QBs, well, 35% of the time I have JJ McCarthy. We got to get those numbers up. I want to have JJ McCarthy on 60, 70% of my Justin Jefferson teams. We got to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Running backs is just a mix of a bunch of good guys. Receivers, Zay Flowers and Rashee Rice kind of pop there. Probably just kind of where they fall, but interesting. And then Kittle on a bunch of those teams. Quinshon Judkins and Bucky Irving. So I need to differentiate, not take as much Quinshon or Bucky on these Justin Jefferson teams because I've already gotten those combos. That's what the tool can help you realize, help you work through in real time, make these decisions in these drafts. So like I said, if you're a volume drafter, if you're getting into best ball and you're having a lot of fun, having the week 16, 17 matchups on the screen, access to your exposures and your combinations, it's really powerful. I think it's fun. It's an extra added element. It's things that we're already considering, already using to get an edge, get an advantage. But the best ball overlay just kind of puts it right there at your fingertips, makes it easy. I've tracked all these things in Excel or Google Sheets before. Nothing beats having instant access to this kind of tool online and while you're drafting. I think it's just really, really good. Who do I want to take here? I'll do Garrett Wilson. I don't get a ton of Garrett Wilson. I think it makes sense to get another share of him because I take a good amount of Fields. But I just said we're going to draft JJ McCarthy on this one. I get sniped on JJ McCarthy so often when I have Justin Jefferson. It's incredible. It's not even funny. But I'm going to give myself another out because I'm really going to want to target Justin Fields on a Garrett Wilson team as well. Not that you have to, but I think if Wilson's going to pay off, you're hoping Fields has a big season. That's kind of like people like to disparage Fields for not having a big enough passing ceiling. So if you're drafting Garrett Wilson, you're almost saying that yes, Fields will have a nice passing ceiling. Maybe, and that's kind of like for him to pay off in the season total scoring aspect. But if you just want him to pay off in 1 week, like week 17, maybe it just is one game where Garrett Wilson goes off, Fields throws for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson has like all of that, and then Fields also hits you like a big payday, and then you got to have another piece like Justin Jefferson, who's like the true wide receiver one on the week. But then maybe Fields outscores McCarthy, and so you kind of like that's how I kind of would talk myself into winning in week 17 with the build that I'm going for here. Yeah, Putt Daddy's in on Mooney. Love it. I think partially, Chris. I think that is how I build a lot of mine. But I also have built some pretty robust one with Gibbs. But you're right. I think, and maybe that's some way to get a little different, is not always just go anchor Gibbs. Yo, Hartman, he's here. What was that? 30 minutes ago? Not surprised that I'm so far behind, but I appreciate y'all being here. What up, Hartman? I was telling them about the FFPC draft coming up this week. The streams we're going to be doing, the draft we're getting into Saturday night. I mean, we've got some pros in the chat. We've got Steph in here, FFPC pro practically. Jason, FFPC winner, 4th place in the main 2 seasons ago. Incredible. So we've got some sharps in here, and we'll be looking to replicate some of that success. Poodles 30% field, so don't wait too long if you aren't doing slows. FK, we're gonna have to hit these poodles tonight. You're right. Besh is dropping because Thornton is rising. Maybe. I think all the rookies are kind of falling except for the ones that are already were so cheap they only have one way to go, and that's up. So that's Thornton. Fun fact, in Thornton's entire collegiate career, he had 3 more receptions than Besh had last year alone. Savion Williams had 40 more touches last season than Dante Thornton had in his entire career combined. So just things to consider. This is an obvious click for me. I get the week 17 bring back in that game. Justin Jefferson, JMO playing the Dome in Minnesota. So I love that. And I'm a pretty big fan of the Jameson Williams click. I need to get my exposure up. I don't know how I got so low on him. Kamara is a pretty sick pick here. I'm not going to lie. But I think I'll go Pickens again. It's either him or Smith or Sutton or Kamara. I'm going to go Pickens and I'm going to keep drafting Pickens. I'm going to have a ton of Pickens. As a wide receiver 4, I mean, when you look and you see these 4 wide receivers, Jefferson, Wilson, Williams, and Pickens, to me, I just see spike weeks. I see high scoring output, pretty elite group in a 4, and then throwing a little JT doesn't hurt. But man, I would have liked Kamara. I've got a 16% Kamara. I like him a lot, obviously. Kamara JT might be actually, from a season scoring standpoint, the better combo, unless we just go back to the narrative that Dak has a top year. Pickens is another top option for him. Maybe Pickens has a better ability to spike at the end of the season versus Kamara. I don't know. I think it's hard to fully convince myself that Alvin Kamara shouldn't be going in the top 50 picks. Imagine you're drafting for a battle royale. It's week 1 or it's week 2. What round do you think Alvin Kamara gets drafted in? There's only 6 rounds. Is Alvin Kamara a top 50 pick? The answer is yes. It's almost certainly yes. Alvin Kamara is getting drafted. So just little like things like that make me really question where some of these players are in their ADPs. Like, I'll say it again. How could you ever draft a guy like Rome Odunze over Alvin Kamara? I just can't see how you get there. But you can make the argument for a lot of these receivers. I mean, imagine this. You travel back in time to the year 2023, and you're drafting for the 2024 season, and you tell someone, hey, next year, you're going to be drafting Jawan Jennings of the 49ers. And they're going to say, who? the fourth wide receiver on the team. Who's that guy? Yeah, Jawan Jennings. You're going to be drafting him ahead of Alvin Kamara in 1 year's time. You never would have believed it. You never would have thought that in a million years. Not for $1 million would you believe that. So I don't know. I don't know what that means, but I think about that all the time. It haunts me. It's one of my nightmares is that I've been clicking Jawan Jennings over Alvin Kamara, and I'm going to lose because of it. So I have a ton of Kamara, but we're not just drafting for like who's the better player. It's honestly, there's a lot more nuance than that, which sometimes gets lost in these conversations, these player debates. We're drafting sound structural teams that can win a large field tournament in consecutive, advancing out of consecutive weeks in pods and winning, grand prize at the top at the end. And and we also have to like think about the fact that we're looking for like a weekly outcome. So yeah, I don't know. I still think Kamara is like a great pick. How much Justin Jefferson do I have with? Well, let me go ahead and get Jerry Jeudy. I think I want Jerry Jeudy, or do I want Swift? I want Jerry Jeudy. Get the falling value. Yeah, I'll take Jerry Jeudy, and then if like Swift or Laporta is there, I think Laporta will be there because Foxman has McBride. He goes Judkins. Okay, do I want Swift or Laporta though? Swift, I somehow don't have with Justin Jefferson, and then Laporta, I know I do a few times. So let me get Swift. Plus, it doesn't hurt to get another running back. I get tight ends later. Maybe, I don't know. Will Hawkinson come back around? Almost certainly not, right? He doesn't. 88. My next pick's going to be 91, 92, 96, 97. So, or I guess for me, 95, 98. I'll take Swift at 74. I think, he's been rising. I think he doesn't have a lot of competition for touches. I think he fits this team nicely. And then Jerry Jeudy as my wide receiver 5. I'm feeling really great about this wide receiver group. It's a 20-second schnauzer. It's my last one. We've maxed the schnauzer with this last draft. We're getting into some poodles right after this. So stay tuned. Stick around. Draft a poodle with me and the chat. Make sure you hit that like. We're going to draft a poodle when we get to 40 likes on the channel. Let's do it. And then, let me know if you guys have fired off your corgi yet. Fantasy Dog, appreciate you, my man. Thanks for being here as always. I think Besh is dropping because the rookies are dropping and people are slightly fearing him that Thornton's rising, but I think Besh is still good. I don't know about Thornton. Yeah, that's true for the poodle. I got to watch out. Exactly. Yeah, Steph, an FFPC high stakes professional writer. And if you guys haven't checked out the content, so obviously for the leg up subscribers, you can get access. And I think most of them are premium. I think some of them might be available to the non-premium users. I'm not sure, but I've been reading Steph's articles. Was it just last season was the first season, Steph? Or has it been 2 seasons? But definitely incredible content. And so what I was going to say earlier to finish that thought is I've been reading Steph's articles on FFPC pickups and waiver moves for as long as she's been putting it out, because I think it just keeps you sharp. Whether or not you're playing FFPC, just knowing what's going on can give you a huge edge and keep you in that kind of mindset and being aware of, transactions, players that you should be thinking about for your redraft leagues, your dynasty leagues. So I think it crosses all the boundaries and you can read in some of that content. I like to mix in some dynasty content, some high stakes content, cross the boundaries, get out of the circle a little bit into another circle, Venn diagram of fantasy, the overlaps. It's good stuff. So I landed Fields here. Feels really good to get him with Garrett Wilson. And then I also picked up Jordan Mason. So another Packer for this squad to go with Justin Jefferson. That feels good too. This team's coming together. Let me catch up with y'all in the chat. I'm so far behind. What else is new? Fantasy Dog in the house. Yeah, talking FFPC. Might have to check it out. Yep. The Fantasy Football Players Championship. Some high stakes leagues. There's redraft, there's best ball. I'm new to it. I've been enjoying the content. I've been following it for years, for seasons, but it's my first year entering these contests, so I'm psyched to get into it. Yep. Yep. Steph's in there. That's 30 minutes ago. Whoops. Hell yeah. Yeah, check out Steph's content. Good stuff. I know. I was reading all of Steph's waiver columns last year, and super detailed, insanely detailed. And man, the amount of transactions that go on in those leagues, it must be absurd. Oh yes. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yo, what up, Al Bug? How you doing, brother? Nice Best Ball Mania team you drafted. Pretty nice to get Garrett Wilson to fall to you. I took him at pick 26 in this one, but you got him in the 30s, and then you matched that up with the Tyreek Hill as well, and then some of the other combos you had. I saw you post that one on Twitter. Very nice. All right, in my team 3 in Best Ball Mania 6. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that. Yeah, come on out, FK. You found the right place. There you go. Yo, what up, Gronk it to kiss. Let's make this pick, and then we'll jump. We'll look at that. Ooh, I mean, I could. Ooh, okay. Dak goes. I was gonna consider Dak for a hot second because there's no way that Foxman is gonna go. Foxman, there's no way you're taking McCarthy, right? Because I'm gonna go Charbonnet here, but I don't have to do Charbonnet. I could have done Ramondre. That Ramondre might have been the better pick just for this one because I mean I don't know. Just thinking about all the different options. Foxman, you're not taking McCarthy. Come on, Foxman. Yes. Let's go. JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson. Love it when a plan comes together. I was actually considering taking Dak and McCarthy with those two picks if Dak would have been there, but Dak was drafted the pick before I took Charbonnet. Charbonnet, yeah, he works fine for this team. Brings the room together a little bit. Feeling pretty good through my first 11 picks. Justin Fields, McCarthy at QB. I've got JT, DeAndre Swift, Jordan Mason, and Zach Charbonnet at running back. And then wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, George Pickens, and Jerry Jeudy. I think this feels like a strong team. We're cooking here. See what we can get into for tight ends later. Some more running backs. Come back to wide receiver at some point, but I feel pretty good with the options that I got. And there's not a whole lot of Minnesota or Jets pieces left that are worth drafting at receiver. So I have to figure another path out, another week 17 gameplay. Gronkitis. Oh, I get it now. Gronkitis. Nice. Can you do weekly winners after this? So I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you being in the chat. I'm not really interested in weekly winners as a format. I entered weekly winners when they debuted it in 2023. Didn't do any last year, and I don't really plan on doing any this year. But occasionally, some of the bros in the Pounders Discord get into some weekly winners content. I don't know if you've checked it out, but if you go check out Fantasy Dog Pound on Twitter, you can get into the free Discord. You can get the currently drafting is one of the subs in there, whatever you call it, like, Discord rooms. And you can try to get in some weekly winners. You'll find guys like Al Boog in there. You'll find a bunch of people you're seeing in this chat in the Pounders Discord. Steph's in there too sometimes. And free to get in, and you can try to organize some weekly winner stuff. And then I know Pat of the Fantasy Dog Pound. He's pretty into weekly winners, so like he's done some content on it. You can check out on his channel too. Just a thought. Ooh, Tucker Kraft going this late makes a ton of sense here. Anyone else I'd miss out on that I have to have though? I mean, I like White. No, I think it's obviously Tucker Kraft, and I like Tucker Kraft a good amount. So getting him past ADP feels pretty sweet. Who are the QBs, and do I need any of them? Not really. Is there a wide receiver I should be drafting here? Also, probably not. So then it's another tight end. I could do Jake Ferguson. I'll probably go Rachaad White over Ferguson. They did kind of phase out Rachaad White, but he's got contingent upside on his own. Yeah, I'm going to take White. Algier, Eckler, all there, all fine. I mean, they really did phase out Rachaad White, but he's handled a workload in the past. It's a good offense. It's a good team. The defense is not going to be great. They're going to be trying to score a lot of points. He's the pass catching back for them, although they did start using Bucky more and more at the end of the season, and they're going to want to continue doing that. So I draft a good amount of Rachaad White, but as a running back 5, and even with Charbonnet, with my running back 4 pick, I'm already leaning into like some contingent upside plays that have some standalone value, but are like the de facto RB2 in their own backfield. So I think the Rachaad White pick there is kind of fine. I definitely was considering Ferguson. I already had Pickens, so it made a lot of sense. I had just taken Kraft, but I don't know. I'm not obsessed with Ferguson. I think he goes pretty early for being comparable to guys like Pat Freiermuth much later, or even, I mean, Hunter Henry, Cade Otton, very comparable, and they go much later. You could argue though with Dak, it's a better offense, better setup. We haven't seen Jake Ferguson produce a whole lot for fantasy though. The fact that he goes so close to Dallas Goedert in a lot of these drafts is kind of baffling when Dallas Goedert's always been good for fantasy, just always injured as well. Oh, I like it. Yeah, the Steelers offense is a mess. So getting away from that should be good for him. I agree. Yeah, yep. Chris, you must live in Houston, or you must be around here, because there are a lot of Aggies in H-Town. There are lots. I'm from North Houston, and from where I come from, it's mostly Aggies. Nothing wrong with that. If you know, you know. I won't hate on the Aggies. Got plenty. Half my high school friends are Aggies. Some of my best friends are in my main redraft league. There's a bunch of Aggies in there. Well, there's 2. We tolerate them. I'm just kidding. But ooh, with this pick, let's figure it out. Is it Freiermuth? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Freiermuth. I'll go Freiermuth first. I don't know why I have him ranked so much lower. I just have these other guys ranked higher. I take a good amount of Dowdle. I think he's proven he can be effective. So he's in a different situation, but a good offensive line. Of course, I could do Alec Pierce. I kind of want to take Dowdle. I don't have a good way to get to Geno Smith or Matthew Stafford, I'm gonna be done at running back with those 6. Feels pretty solid there. No rookies, which is rare, but a lot of guys with contingent upside and then some studs. Very deep at running back. And it might be a 2 QB build again. We'll see what happens. I felt so good about these first 5 wide receivers that I had that I have no pressure to tack on or force any picks there. I'll take it when it comes by. And I'm gonna take a third tight end with the Fryermuth, the Kraft. Already I was considering it, but then doesn't hurt. Like I was saying earlier, I just took a 3 tight end build with Brock Bowers just to get more scoring distributions in my weeks 15, 16, 17 from the tight end position, more overlap on those scoring distributions, probability of hitting a big week or a touchdown. And then, of course, like, let's say I did end up, if this build was slightly different, if I did end up with just taking these 2 tight ends, don't even sweat it. Getting a 0 at tight end in week 5 is not going to make or break your advance. Even though it's 2 out of 12 in these Schnauzer 2s, if you needed that extra 5 or 10 points over the entire week 1 to 14 combined scoring to advance, then your team, it just wasn't good enough. Most of the teams are going to be separated by more than that. But at the same time, if you can avoid giving up free points, you're going to want to do that. I think this team it makes sense already because I don't know. Rodgers could be there at my next pick. That would make a ton of sense for a QB3. I don't think he'll be there though. And then, Daniel Jones, Dart, Chuck, even Darnold. It's kind of hard to get to Darnold on this one. Might be able to do it. Get a little creative. I've got Charbonnet. I've got Dowdle for a bring back. I've already got the mini there. JT is my connection for Daniel Jones, at least just like a team stack, and then maybe tack on a late 80 Mitchell or something. I don't know. Rodgers, of course, I go to Fryermuth and then go directly into Calvin Austin is the play. But if he gets drafted, I might just go Sam Darnold to give myself one more QB. I'm really considering it. Keenan Allen's a nice pick. If I didn't take a QB here and I just wanted to get receivers. So I'm gonna pull this little trick. I'm gonna go Rodgers into Calvin Austin with my next pick. If not, Keenan Allen. Maybe Keenan Allen goes to the Steelers. Maybe big brain idea, take Keenan Allen over Calvin Austin. But do I need Keenan Allen on this team anyways? Maybe not. Jameson Williams plays the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 16 and then the Minnesota Vikings in week 17. So that's pretty sweet. Wow. What are the odds that Calvin Austin gets drafted? Fox, man. At least he didn't screw me on JJ McCarthy. But also, he doesn't have a second QB. So what is this guy doing? I'll take Keenan Allen. Boom. 3-6-6-2 build, Justin Fields, JJ McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers. Got the youth, got the old. Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet, Rashad White, and Rico Dowdle for my 6 running backs. This is a 20-second Schnauzer 2. It's my last one. After this, we're going to do some poodles with y'all. We gotta get these poodle entries up. It's filling very fast. Justin Jefferson stacked. Garrett Wilson stacked. Jameson Williams, a double bring back. Pickens for the mini with. What was it? I think earlier I said something about Pickens and Williams. I was just mixing up previous year's week 17, I guess. No, but I got Jerry Jeudy for the week 17 bring back for my Aaron Rodgers stack with Fryermuth. I got Keenan Allen. Maybe he goes to the Steelers. That would be nice. Kraft and Fryermuth. My last pick, it's going to be a tight end. Pretty certain. I don't have any crazy conflicts of buys with those 6 receivers. Let's assume Keenan Allen also gets a week 9 bye. Well, I'd still be starting Pickens, JMO, and Justin Jefferson to cover for week 9. So that'll be just fine. Juwan Johnson would be nice. I would have considered taking Mason Taylor at some point. Luckily, I have Garrett Wilson, so I wasn't sweating having any stack, and even with an unstacked Justin Fields, totally fine. Mason Taylor went 182. I ended up getting Aaron Rodgers at 191. I took Rico at 170, so it wasn't in the cards. A lot of these tight ends are going. Terrence Ferguson seems to get drafted more and more often. Theo Johnson also getting drafted more and more often. Who should I take here? Juwan Johnson, of course. Yeah, that's the obvious one. So it's the rare 3663 build, the famous structure that won Best Ball Mania 4. I think that one ended up pretty nice. What up, Kriyath? How you doing, brother? Chase Brown and Claypool. Dale. How we doing? My boy Roto Run from Badge Bros. He wasn't in this draft. You're just doing the finger red number 1. Yep. I know exactly what that is. Sub to Badge Bros. Classic best ball bro meme. But also, I mean, hey, the Badge Bros followers they stay winning, so you know it's something good. Dart a late season hammer. Who says no? Did he go in this one? Dart goes undrafted in this one, unless Foxman took him, which I think he might have, but probably not because he's kind of a wild card. Bindles, can you believe that? I mean, I got a nice setup for Rodgers, but if I for some reason didn't get Rodgers, I would have tacked on Shuck or maybe even Dart, and instead of taking Keenan Allen, I could have done Darius Slayton. What Hartman said. What up, Reflect the Sun. How we doing, my man? Yeah, I know. Tight end into the flex is terrible. Not what you want. But if it's Bowers, you still want him to hit your tight end spot. That's the whole point. But like sometimes in between weeks, but definitely not for your week 17. Best Ball Mania next. What up, Jeremy, the classic BBM next comment. Hope you're doing good, my man. Hope you're getting some streamed Best Ball Manias in. We're going to rip a poodle in like 20, 30 seconds. I'm going to check to make sure we've got at least 40 likes on the stream. If I've got 40 likes, we'll rip this poodle real quick. If not, we might have to stall a little bit, pop out some stuff. Wow, there's my chat from when this draft started. So you know I'm behind. I'm terrible. Weekly winners, says Gronkitis. Pacheco will be a better pick than Swift. That's a bold statement from Huhames, but also could be true. Could that be the Chiefs in the Chiefs memorabilia? Or I think it's a blanket you have behind you. It's Chiefs blanket, or maybe it's a flag. Could that just be the flag or the blanket talking, Huhames? Nice, Dale. You're killing it. What up, John? Super duper. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for being here. What's going on? Do you take Jonnu if he falls? Yes, I do. I do draft Jonnu in that range. I typically take Mark Andrews ahead of Jonnu, which I think they even flipped, right? But then, like, I consider Jonnu next to Njoku, next to Warren, next to Loveland. That's the range I want for that guy. Albug. Jacob Cowing. I think I drafted him once last year. BKJG. BKGJ. Excuse me. I don't think I'll be drafting him much this year, but if you're paying attention to the 49ers, wasn't it the only ones who are healthy and practicing right now are Demarcus Robinson, Jordan Watkins, Jacob Cowing, And then is Juwan Jennings practicing, or is he still on the sideline? Because I know Pearsall's sidelined, Ayuk's sidelined, and dropping Percocets and all the things we've been learning this week about him with his recovery. Garbage. The fantasy football garbage. Oh, because I drafted Juwan earlier. That was the last draft, though. Why? He went to a small school, and I don't know about Juwan or Ricky for sure. Oh, talking about cowing. Yeah, I thought about the Chimera. It would have been nice for that week 16 too. We'll do it next time. It might have been nice on this one. Because I got George Pickens, I was able to stop with 6 receivers. So that's kind of a nice thing in its own. And then I just filled up my running backs with some volume. But I do like the idea of just getting Chimera there. We're about to get right back into another poodle, so stay tuned. I'm ripping through these comments. Let me throw on some. Yeah, stay tuned. Out with the ball. On the 49ers, if you're going to go for a deep sleeper, especially in dynasty leagues, I like Jordan Watkins as a deep sleeper. He went in round 4 of this year's draft, goes under the radar, doesn't get drafted. Flipped over Laporta. It's a terrible day. I wish I saw this earlier. Cracking me up. I pulled it off though. I got Kraft at 143. I think we pulled it off. Yo, Chris B, what up, CB Jets fan? I'm doing great. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the kind words. Yes. Hope you're doing good, my man. 2 seasons, yeah. Last year was the first they were on leg up, because the first season you had your own newsletter that I also was subscribed to. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, you are right. It's your thing. But week 1, I think, was for everyone. Oh, and I was gonna name drop it too. I have to look through my emails to find the fabulous. It was your fabulous newsletter. I've been a long time follower with Steph's content. We go way back to the 2023 best ball season, the road to 150 with Hope and Davis, and then of course Pat was drafting a ton back then on his streams. Best ball community, the best community in fantasy football. I always say that. New York Jets, Field and Wilson. I got it done, Chris. Appreciate the shout out. Yeah, of course, Steph. Of course. OG. That's a good shout. Appreciate that, Coolers. It's a good looking out. Yeah, I hope he gets on the field too, and I hope they're really good together. I hope Fields gets on the field with Garrett Wilson and they have good chemistry. Candyman clutch. Appreciate you. I was there. I saw the Best Ball Mania draft, Albug. I did see it. Oh, the 3 QB meta that Leg Up is touting. It's funny because when Billy Jones came on the channel on a Tuesday about a month ago, he and I talked a lot about structures. We talked a lot about the 3 QB builds. We reviewed my 150 Best Ball Manias from last year, where I was about, I think 65% of my teams were 2 QB builds. So I knew already coming out of last season, and after talking with Billy Jones, that I definitely wanted to get more into some 3 QB builds. So I think I flipped. I've gone about 65% 3 QB builds, if not more. And that's something we can review in the Best Ball Overlay Portfolio Analyzer dashboard. But yeah, right. So my current roster build, let me zoom in on this. But yes, yeah, leg up's been touting it. People have been mentioning it all over the place. Oh, geez. I hit zoom in on the wrong tab. Okay, let's look at these builds. I've zoomed in a ton for y'all so you can see it. These are just my best ball manias, but I've done 46. I did one last night that's not in here with Neil and Bindles. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm still just drafting a ton of 2 QB builds. 17%. My 34% of my drafts. My top 2, my top 3. So 15 plus 34. That's 49% of my drafts. So I'm like 50% 2 QB builds. And then tack on another 6%. So what is that? I'm like 55% 2 QB builds. And then all of the rest are going to be 3 QB. One more 2B down. So yeah, I'm still somehow close to 60% 2 QB builds. And then 40% 3 QB builds. So I guess I'm not as flipped as I thought I was. But we're only 46 drafts in. We did another 3 QB build last night. And then if I go to all tournaments, I think it does shift a little bit to the 3. See, it does a lot. So in Best Ball Mania, it seems like I'm more likely to go with a 2 QB build. But across all my tournaments, I do 3-5-7-3 in 27% of my drafts alone, which is that's why it's right there in the front of my mind of why I do that so often. And then, 10% there, 9% there, 5% there, 4% there, another 1. So 1, 4, 5. That's like, yeah, I do way more 3 QB builds across all tournaments. I don't know why that is. Maybe I need to do more 3 QB builds in Best Ball Manias. This is why I love using this tool. Test your hypothesis, figure out, review your data, adjust, improve, plan ahead. So yeah. Good shout. Man, I'm so far behind. Success, bro. ADP, roster construction, etc. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. And Chris, if you've ever got questions about, if I'm saying something like ADP, average draft position, if I'm ever saying something about like a roster construction or some kind of term like a bring back or a week 17, game stack, happy to expand on that. I hope I kind of just babble on and answer these questions and I make it user friendly and for new users and for new fantasy football bros who are entering the best ball space, maybe for the first time, that I can help explain a little bit of these things. We're all learning. We're all getting better every day. So happy to do it. Draft get-ins will be solid. I've got some get-ins. I need to get more. But yeah, on a JT build, I don't handcuff a lot, but I do it sometimes. Not in a handcuffing way, but just in a, if I can lock up all of the touches for the Colts backfield with 2 players, I'd want to do that. Maybe get into that guy. Huhaim's doing some weekly winners tomorrow. Do weekly winners for us who overdo it. Yeah. Yeah. Huhaim's. Of course. If you don't already know, if you're not already subscribed, go right now, subscribe to Huhaim's channel. We're always around. Huhaim's and I, we're in other people's drafts, chats. I'm in his stream chatting all the time. I'm mostly lurking because he goes on earlier in the day. So I like to turn on the Huhaim stream, say what up, and I listen in, see what he's doing, whether it's Superflex or these other tournaments he's getting into now. Love it. And Huhaim's has definitely been on the channel. And we're going to be doing it again soon. We'll have to figure out something soon. Real soon, Huhaim's. For show. Such a nice way to say no. On the weekly winners. Drunk, stumbling like a mofo. There we go. Crispy. Yeah, got a lot of sharps in here. Ask away, brother. Cool sub. Remember you from the Twitch drafts, I believe. Oh, for Huhames. Yeah. Make sure you're subbed to Huhames. Steph's been doing more 3 QB teams than in the past. I'm still mixing in different constructions into my portfolio. 100%. Yes. Maybe I'm lost. Let me go back. No, I think I got it. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I got you. I caught up. Appreciate you, Crispy. Yeah, Kraft is good. Rome or Kenneth Walker? Bro, you're trying to goat me a little bit. You're trying to Ken Walker, 10 out of 10. You would never see me click Rome Odunze ahead of Ken Walker. Ken Walker is explosive. Do we have to? And we've played this game plenty of times. Who is this? Is this Mooney? Oh God, what a nice profile, Mooney. Ken Walker, and we didn't, we haven't been playing Is He Explosive a lot. It was more of a big board thing, more of an early BBM thing. But let's get back into it. Ken Walker or Rome Odunze? Do you want to draft? Well, bad sample size. I forgot about this profile. Honestly, I forgot about this one. Bad sample size. He only played 11 games, but he averaged an explosive play per game. Per touch, though, it wasn't looking that incredible for him. I don't know. It was a bad season. He was injured last year. He still had a lot of fantasy points per game. Pretty touchdown dependent. That was not what I was expecting. Was it Charbonnet? Was Charbonnet's the one that I was expecting to see? And it's a little bit more. No, his kind of sucks too. More than one explosive play per game, though. But below average rushing and receiving. We know the Seahawks are going to run the ball with their new coach, McDonald. They're going to be running the ball a ton. New offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak. But Rome Odunze, I mean, you'd think he'd be good. He comps to Justin Jefferson famously, but just not very good. Yeah, not explosive. Less than half an explosive play per game. Hartman's just trying to get me. I do need to. It's the 20-second clocks. The 20-second clocks get me. Texas made. Yeah, disbanded. The ATX. Got another bro in here. Basque, how we doing, brother? The crying Luca in the profile pic. Yeah, I 100% agree. This is an incredible take. Late Freiermuth, late Roger Stacks. Very, very undervalued. Solid. I tried to get Calvin Austin. I tried to do it. Hartman, Rome overrated. The next Kelvin Benjamin. Oh, Al Boog. Hartman's about to. He might ban you from the chat for saying that. Yeah, of course. What are you drafting on FFPC? Drafting a big gorilla this Saturday with Hartman. Speaking of, and we're gonna stream it too. And Hartman and I are gonna stream another night this week. We'll to be determined, but early this week we're gonna. Perfect. I think Hartman and I are going to stream also on Thursday. And we're going to talk about the FFPC structure, the draft, the ADPs, our player takes, all these kind of things. He's going to try to convince me to draft Rome Odunze. I'm going to make sure we don't do that. But Rome Odunze, he separates well. He has a high success rate on routes. Many missed air yards because of bad throws. Rome will cook. Maybe Ben Johnson can push Caleb Williams to be a good QB in year 2. Maybe he's just still not going to be a good QB I know he was productive in college, but is that just Michael Penix Jr.? And then, yeah, I know you know your stuff, but he just wasn't good last year. His route win rate was 98th, but it does. I mean, that's the big factor in that is the quality of the targets. Yeah, number 2 in unrealized air yards is one of the things you were getting at too. And I know he's a deep target guy. I loved Romodunze, which is funny. I loved Romodunze. I had 18, 20% Romodunze in 2024, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see him do much coming into the NFL. I'm starting to think Romodunze, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk, Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer. What do those 5 people have in common? They're nothing without Michael Penix Jr. You already saw Kalen DeBoer putting up what the Crimson Tide would consider a pretty pathetic season, missing, losing games left and right. Vanderbilt, and just not really living up to the expectation of Nick Saban, but who could? Ryan Grubb, 1 season as the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, out, replaced. Romodunze goes to the Bears. Hey, he's playing with Caleb Williams, arguably a better quarterback than Michael Penix Jr. Wrong. Apparently a worse quarterback. No chemistry. Doesn't, not very good season. Jalen Polk, enough said. And then Jalen McMillan, kind of a product of an offense that was humming, was passing very well. Baker Mayfield, experienced veteran, and a lot of injuries with Mike Evans and Godwin, of course. So a lot of opportunity there, a lot of open targets for the taking. We've had this conversation like 30 times, but I love it. Oh, appreciate you, Dirty. Appreciate you. BKJG, having a great Tuesday night. FFPC is a rough site. Did 2 teams last year, got smoked. Yeah, I've heard good, I've heard bad. Some people find success, some people it's challenging. I think it's challenging overall. Could be. Yeah. Patrick, what's up? Patrick's a Baylor guy. Shout out to the Baylor Bears. I like me some Baylor. I've got some friends. I got a lot of friends who went to Baylor. My college roommate, my freshman year, who was one of my best friends growing up, elementary, middle school, high school, went to college together, roomed together, freshman year in the dorms. His whole family had gone to Baylor. His older brother, 2 older sisters, and then he goes to Texas. So he was like, we used to joke that he was like a bigger Baylor fan than he was a Texas fan. Baylor, always good memories. A lot of Big 12. Big 10, what am I saying? Big 12 matchups between UT and Baylor, whether it's football or other sports too. Basketball, good stuff. Appreciate you being here. Mean Green from my undergrad. There you go. Shout out to the Mean Green, of course. My buddy, one of my closest buddies, went to North Texas, and then he actually transferred to Texas State, and he graduated from Texas State. But one of my best buddies. So I had visited UNT when he was going there. Yo, Crossface, what's up, brother? So many Texans. Yeah. That would be, yeah. Well, don't crush my dreams, Hugh Hames. That's true. Chig rising a little bit. Best ball slims are the mains we are talking about are close to 2.2K and managed. Big gorillas are similar structure, and yeah, the big gorilla is managed. That's what Hartman and I are going to be drafting this Saturday. But they do have some best ball leagues too, of course. Yeah, and I'm learning all this stuff. I'm catching up to what's going on with FFPC. Oh, hook 'em horns, baby. Gunner Helm. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, what up, Vape? How you doing, brother? Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. Drafting next. Let's get into... Oh, my God. That was 20 minutes ago. I can't keep up. We're drafting a poodle next, and we're drafting a poodle soon if I can ever get through the chat. It's been 20 minutes of just catching up with the chat, but I love it. Janu over Laporta, don't at me. Sus Edwards, I'm about to at you in the Discords, on Twitter, and in the chat. That's insane. But I like it. I like it. Fizzle, Dollars. Yes, sir. Back on the clock. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. Thanks for being here. Yes. Fabulous football. I remember. Oh, Putt Daddy's not in for the 3 QBs. He's a traditionalist, more of a 2 QB guy. Chat will help you out if we see it. Played myself with Walker. Oh, God. Yes, CBK, certified ball knower. We're drafting poodles in T-minus a minute if I can get through these chats. Damn, you need to slow your roll on the best ball manias. Why 148? I don't understand that. But a lot of 3Q. Oh, because you've done... Holy shit, you've done 148 best ball manias already? That's crazy. I don't know if you've mentioned that before and I forgot it or what, but that's crazy. Yeah, consistent. Evan White. I can do one team without Rome. We're good. Nah, I'm just messing with you, Harmon. Yeah, reflect the sun. We know. We already know. Our structures. Yeah, structures. Nice. Yes. 100%. Okay, that's a good structure. 3, 5, 8, 2. I don't mind that. Yes, that's true. I think Hayden was also putting out 3 QB, 3 tight end propaganda. What up, Steve? How you doing, brother? About to get into some poodles real quick. We're about to get into these poodles very soon. Make sure y'all slap the like. Get ready to enter a poodle. Health Camp Hamburgers. I don't know what that went right over my head. McMillan could always trade target for team also. Ooh. Yo, Nick. What's up? Drafting a poodle. About to get into it. Y'all are hilarious. We're never going to get this draft in. We're sitting here waiting to catch up with the chat. No, but I love catching up with y'all. I appreciate y'all all being here. Let's get into a 20-second poodle right now. I put it into the chat. I'm going to go get into it. Let's get into this next 20-second poodle. I know you guys have been waiting. So get in. 20-second poodle. My third. I'm entering now. Boom. Waiting on 10. Let's go. You guys fill this thing instantly. Holy shit. You guys are ready to draft. Let's go. David in the 1. Pepper Tony in the 2. Rolling Doinks in the 3. That's hilarious. Bosnian Dude in the 4. Dale in the 5. Super Shorty in the 6. Shout out to Steph. Hamilton Motorsports. That seems familiar, but I don't know who that is. In the 7. Let me know if you're here. Nice and Blunt in the 9. More 420 jokes. I mean, if it's not a sex joke, it's always like a Rolling Doinks or Nice and Blunt. Chaz, Michael Michelson, the CBK in the 11. Jalapeno Jenkins in the 12. What up, Jalapeno? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you being here. Let's get it. This is going to be a sharp room. We're going to rip. This is going to be a fast. This is going to be a really fast draft. We're going to get this one just rip roaring. Because of all of the bros in here drafting. Best ball bros, that is. Yeah, everyone, stop chatting, people. It's a catch-22. Oh, it's in Waco, Texas. See, I'm doing better this time. Pre-flow went from 7 to filled instantly when you filled instantly. That's crazy. We'll do another poodle after this one too, guys. So if you didn't get in this one, that's okay. I'm going McCaffrey. Let's rip through this draft. Let's get it going super fast, and then we'll get right back into another one. Because I feel like all of us in here, we know what we like. We know the players we're going to take. We got them queued up. We're ready. We can get through this draft pretty quick. That's crazy. Sweatiest room ever. Good luck to all. I mean, it's even sweatier now that you're in it, CBK. Heath Camp Hamburgers is a Waco fixture. Oh. I've been to Waco just once. No, I've been to Waco a few times. I've been to Waco a few times. We would drive through Waco on the way, and then I don't even follow my own advice. We would drive through Waco on the way to Texas OU. Occasionally, man, I thought I hit click. I thought I clicked it draft. My bad. Boom. So on the way to Texas OU, and I've been to Texas OU in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas probably 10 times. I don't go every year, but I go often enough, and I went every year I was in college. We would drive from Austin through Waco, and I just didn't know that. I didn't know Heath Camp Hamburgers. I have to check it out. It's a fixture. Next time I'm in Waco, I'll definitely remember. Sadly, honestly, road tripping through Waco, we would stop and get Sonic. Sonic is popular in Texas. If you're from Texas, Sonic's fine. They're known for their drinks. The drinks are a little bit overrated. They're fine on a hot day. Get an ocean water. Get a cherry limeade. I don't know. Sonic was like the spot when we were in high school. If you could drive a car, or if you knew someone that could drive a car, school gets out, you go to Sonic. Chill with the people, or go like after practice. Get a little group. Yo, nice and blunt. Oh, hey, you are in here, nice and blunt. Yo, just found your channel. I'm at 9. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by. Nice and blunt. That's either, like I said, 420 themed name, or it could just be nice and blunt. Some takes, very blunt with the takes. Either way, I like your start. Puka in London. Whoo, that takes me back to last year. Getting Puka in London at the 1-2 turn. Of course, it was a fun matchup. A combo last year, and then this year it's a really good. I mean, getting Puka at 9 and then in London at 16. That's a fun matchup for the Monday Night Football game, Week 17 in Atlanta. The Rams visiting the Falcons. I keep saying it. I say it every single night I'm on stream with someone. We have guests on. Speaking of guests, if you haven't already checked out the stream that Bindles and I did last night, Ballsy, the show we do together, Bindles and I co-host. We have guests on. It's incredible. Every Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Last night on Bindles' channel. This next coming week on my channel, we go back and forth. Make sure you subscribe to Bindles' channel. We had on the world famous, the special guest, none other than Neil Orfield. Super fun time. We ripped a Best Ball Mania. We drafted a poodle, talked ball, did some ballsy takes. Really fun time. What was I even saying about the point of that? I have no idea. Lost my train of thought. Oh. Nope, lost it. No idea. had to do something with something we said. Oh, yes. Okay. So I just remember every time I have a guest on, I always mention the Week 17 game, the Monday Night Football in Atlanta, the Rams versus the Falcons, because I tell my guests when we're drafting a Best Ball Mania, if this team has a Ram or a Falcon or both on it, and we get to Week 17 and we're close to winning a bunch of money, we're going to fly out to Atlanta. We're going to buy tickets day of. We'll fly out to Atlanta. We'll go to the game, and we'll sweat out the last matchup of Week 17 in person at that game. What would be more fun than that? Josh Allen's here? Well, you guys are crazy. You're going to make me take Josh Allen with McCaffrey, Achane, and Evans? I have to do it. I mean, simply cannot pass on Josh Allen, regardless of how I've drafted to this point. I won't even pass on Jaden Daniels in this range that often. Definitely will not pass a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. But yeah, nice and blunt. Thanks for hopping in here. Glad you found the channel. Hope you're having a great Tuesday night, my man. Ripping some poodles. You must be having a good Tuesday night. We're all in here on a Tuesday drafting best ball teams on June 24th. Feeling good. LOL. Oh, the damn pre-flow. Crazy filled with this chat. I kind of want someone to post maybe Steve can do it. I don't know. It's just an idea. If someone could post the draft board of that pre-flow draft, post it on Twitter and tag me, and then I'll post this one on that, and we can just see how funny it is, like what teams we all come together, and we can start. It's fun. We can interact on Twitter. We can talk about these drafts. I'm definitely not going to have time on stream. If I can't even keep up with the chat while I'm drafting and these 20-second clocks, you guys know I'm not going to have time to roast or review any of these other teams. We're going to keep rolling with these poodles. But if we post these boards on Twitter, we can find each other there. We can look at them. I know not everyone in here is on Twitter. Some of you guys are in the Discords. Some of you guys are on the Twitters. Some of you guys are just on the YouTube. But if you're on Twitter, follow me at FFB Garage. Make sure you're subscribed here. Make sure you hit the like and come get in the chat. Ask your fantasy questions. Hang out with us. If you're on Discord, I would suggest joining Bindle's Discord. You can find the link on his channel, link in description below here. You can also join. I want Mixon, but I need to go receiver. Jesus, is this the Roma Dunze team? I think this is the Roma Dunze team. I'm going to do it. Shout out to Hartman if he's still here. No, I lied. I'm going Joe Mixon. I just couldn't do it. I almost threw up. Almost took Roma Dunze. I'll take him if he's back. It comes back around. But honestly, no, I won't. I'll take Kamara, and then I'll just go. Good, he didn't come back around. I took Mixon there. Mixon's been falling a little bit. People are afraid because of Nick Chubb news. I'm not afraid. I'll take Joe Mixon. Ooh, Addison. So Addison is a guy I will consider. And Kamara goes. Jalapeno helps me out. Oh, and then he takes Addison as well. So that doesn't help. But I'm getting buried at wide receiver. Anchor receiver with Evans. It's hard to pass up on these guys here. Hit the refresh. Get the best ball overlay up. It's hard to pass on Connor or even Henderson. Of course, it's hard to pass on Harvey. I can't do it. I mean, he's been falling. He's going to keep falling. Maybe the right pick is Olave right now. I need it for this build. It's fine. Normally, I wouldn't be passing up on Harvey, but I'm pretty convinced he's going to continue to fall with the Dobbins news. So it's probably not that great for closing line value to get him at pick 65, especially in a build where I do need a receiver at this point. And I think Chris Olave is a fine receiver too. He's been a receiver too the way we've drafted him for years. Really strong running backs. The elite QB. Got to play catch up at wide receiver for me in this draft. But we'll make it work. What I was saying in Discords, you could also join, besides Bindle's Discord, you can join Pat's Discord, the Fantasy Dog Pound. Follow him on Twitter. go jump in the Discord. I think that's where most of us are a good amount of the time. I split my time now where like I'm mostly lurking in the Discords, in the free Discords. You know, there's premium subscription Discords you can get into, like, of course, the Coach Speak Index Discord. We had Greg from the Coach Speak Index on a couple weeks ago as a guest on BALLSY. Super fun time, and he's got a premium Discord that is really, really interesting, really good information in there about all the teams, of course, the coaching interviews and all of that he tracks, follows, databases, scores as well. That's a fun one. And then I lurk in a few other Discords too. Leg Up Discord in there, Davis Maddock Discord, Deposit Kingdom. All the guys we all follow, know, and love. We're in those Discords. But I mostly, like, when I am interacting in Discords, it's probably either Bindles or Pat's, the Fantasy Dog Pound, at the current moment, just because there's so many Discords, there's so many communities going on Twitter, on YouTube, and things. It's just hard for me to keep up. But I'm in the Discords, mostly lurking. Pick 80 coming up. What am I going to do here? I'm going to queue someone up. It could be Mooney or Downs. A lot of good running backs still around. You guys are trying to avalanche me in this room, and it's working. I'll go Downs this time. Yeah, Downs. I don't know what that was. If it was lagging or if it was just like not responding fast. We go Downs, and then we'll see who comes back around. Pre-flow is so cooked. I bet Sus, you're in there. Steve's in there. It sounds like Who Hames was in there. Health Camp. I said Heath Camp. Health Camp, burgers and shakes. Okay. I like burgers and shakes. I'm in. I filled 2 lobbies. It's just a Tuesday night. I don't know what's going on. You guys did it. Appreciate y'all. Holy fuck. What is this lobby? Peppers. How we doing? I recognize your profile pic. You've been in here before, Peppers. What is this, lobbies? Yeah, just attracting apparently all the sharps tonight. You know, we've chummed the waters. We're drafting poodles. We have Best Ball Mania finalists in these drafts. We filled 2 entire rooms with sharp drafters. Do I take Pittman Jr. and get the double stack for the Colts? Almost certainly not. I'm going to go with Buka. And then I'm double stacking the Bucks. Yes, the Bucks. A high scoring, high passing volume offense. The Colts, a low passing volume, low scoring offense, but still can pay off. Different pieces. It sucks that Mayfield's not there, but I like playing the Bucks even without Mayfield, and I have, of course, Josh Allen, so that will play. That will work. Keep an eye on Keon Coleman. So, look, you guys, if you haven't already noticed, I haven't mentioned it, I've got the Best Ball Overlay premium subscription up here. Highlights my stacks after I take a quarterback. It highlights my players that I want to stack with them. It also will show me my week 16 and week 17 correlations, my exposures for the players that I've drafted previously, and then I have my combination tool here. So, like Josh Allen with Mike Evans, I've done that in one Best Ball Mania. What about with Olave? Somehow I don't have Josh Allen with Olave. I don't have a ton of Josh Allen, so it makes sense. And then Josh Allen with McCaffrey is like, yeah, I've done it in a Best Ball Mania. I do remember that team with Achane. I've done it once before, probably not the same team though. And then Mixon once before in looks like either a German Shepherd or a puppy. So that's just some of the functionality, some of the things I like to use in the Best Ball Overlay. Promo code GARAGE. If you're new, if you're signing up to the Best Ball Overlay, and if you have any questions, shoot me a DM on Twitter. Reach out to me on Discord. You can also reach out to Pat and Josh in the Discord about the Best Ball Overlay. Like I said, it's fun. It's fun to use. It's good stuff. Wow, Dak Prescott going 99. to the CeeDee Lamb team. Didn't want to risk it. Didn't want to try to push him to 118. I don't blame you. I think it's a good, savvy move. Of course, Coleman goes to David. I'm probably going to go Trey Harris here because I'm still playing a little bit of catch up at wide receiver. Tempted to go Purdy. Tempted to go ETN. Mark Andrews. Bateman. Burden, who keeps falling, but I still like him. So yeah, I spent a little bit of time on that clock there. I will make my next picks faster, but I had to dig myself out. You guys really buried me in the wide receiver avalanche there. I think I made it out just fine. Evans, Olave, Downs, Egbuka, and Harris. So some rookie upside with Egbuka and Harris. The double Tampa Bay Bucks. McCaffrey, Achane, Mixon. I mean, those could just be the 3 running backs you have to have in Week 17, or you'd love to have in Week 17. Very strong, robust running back start. A lot of draft capital at the running back position. And then Josh Allen, the elite QB, fell 7 spots. Can't pass that up. I'll figure out tight end later. I'm not crazy about Kincaid, but obviously he'd make sense on this build if he comes back around at the right time. I'm not afraid to go either Burden or Andrews with this next pick. One of them could be there. Looks like Scadaboo's falling, although I've got a pretty robust running back start. I don't know that I need Scadaboo in this one. I probably should stick with a wide out or a tight end even. The only thing about Christian Kirk is I do have the team level correlation with Mixon. No, I'll go Mark Andrews. I really like Mark Andrews. Getting him past ADP feels sweet. Mark Andrews is just good. I don't care if he drops the ball in the playoffs. Yeah, what up, Blunt? Good luck. Have fun, everyone, in the draft. David's in the 101 in both. Okay, now I have to see this draft board. After we finish these drafts, Hartman must be in the other one. Now I have to. Somebody do it. Somebody share the draft board. Do the share function and share the draft board on Twitter. Tag me. Tag anyone else who's in these rooms that you guys want to. If someone posts after this draft, if someone posts the pre-filled draft board and then tags me, I'll post this one and repost it, and then we can all see. And I'll tag whoever I can. I'll tag CBK. I'll tag Steph. Dale, I don't know if you're on Twitter, Dale. Pepper Tony, I don't know. David, Twitter. Some of you guys I see, and I know CBK is. Some of you guys I see on YouTube all the time. I don't know if you're in the Twitter universe. I think a lot of you guys are. Some of you guys are more active than others. But if you follow me on Twitter and we interact on YouTube a good amount, I'll make sure I turn notifications on so I catch the things that you're talking about on Twitter too. And the teams that you're posting, because more than anything, a lot of us are posting teams on Twitter, which is always fun. Rate and review each other's teams on Twitter. Give each other some shit. Or some props. Either way. Yeah. All the bros and Steph. Steph's a bro. Steph is the best ball bro. Best ball bro is a gender neutral term, but also it's a feeling, it's a vibe. You can be a best ball bro at heart. Nick Constantino. What's up, brother? Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. Thanks for stopping by. They need you to start promoting multiple Greyhounds each night. I do need to start promoting the Greyhound, although I already filled mine like a long time ago. I did it 4 days after it opened, and I was thinking it would be open for a week. It's been open for like 2-3 weeks now. Damn. Ah, damn, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I thought I honestly, I probably needed one more receiver just to feel good to get that depth. I feel like my clicks are like not calibrated right now. Yeah, Dobbins goes 131 to CBK. I feel like my mouse clicks are not properly calibrated. Oh, I really wanted Herbert. Herbert is who I was looking for. Let's see what this next one. No, I don't like Palmer. Do I take? I guess I have to take Kincaid, right? I guess I have to take Kincaid. I just should. I don't know that I have to take him, but I just should. I should take Kincaid. I don't know. Forcing a stack. It's kind of at ADP. I don't love Kincaid, but I think I want to make sure I take Kincaid with some of my Josh Allen teams, and I don't take a ton of Josh Allen, only 4%, which is crazy, but I need more. Kincaid on a third of them. Keon on half of them. Don't have Palmer with them on any of them, and I don't take a lot of Palmer. Cook. Don't take a lot of Cook, and then Davis. Davis on most of them, so that's where I'm usually going. I went Kincaid here, get the Kincaid exposure up with I think that makes a ton of sense. Obviously, I've got the week 7 bye overlap, so either I punt week 7 with my tight end position, or I could take a late tight end, and I still got to figure out who my QB2 is going to be. We'll get there. You know what? Based on my own ranks, I probably should have just taken Goddard. I like him more anyways. Functions as a bring back. The last real Eagle worth drafting. Tua goes. I think Tua could have been nice for me with Achane. Goes a little early, 143. Gotta lock in. Is it always sunny in my room? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, what up, Austin K? How you doing, brother? How's your Tuesday night going? Appreciate you being here. So you've noticed I'm wearing sunglasses inside, have you? Very sharp, very astute of you. Yo, what up? What up, Reflect the Sun? What up, Nice and Blunt? Yep. Exchanging the hellos. Patrick. You work right next to the Cotton Bowl. The traffic. Oh my, the traffic is insane getting in and out of there. I usually park elsewhere and then I take the rail. Take the rail in. Nice. So you're in Dallas. I've got some family in Dallas. I make it out there a little bit. Okay, it came to a point in the draft where there's no skill position players that I love that I had to take next. So what I did there is I just pivoted to grabbing a QB that I do like in this range, which is Bryce Young. I think he pairs very nicely with Josh Allen. And I can backstack Bryce Young pretty easily. Stafford, I think, equally good pick there. Not impossible to backstack Stafford either, but not having Puka or Devontae Adams makes it tough for me to get to Stafford click. I also considered Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward a lot too. A little bit tougher to backstack Cam Ward. Not impossible, but not the strongest options, like once you get past Calvin Ridley. And then I like Pollard with Cam Ward makes a lot of sense to me too. Perfect. Thielen's there. Boom. Might be able to get one of these running backs. Through my first 14 picks, a 2-3-7-2 build. Played a lot of catch up at wide receiver, but we finally did it. We got there. Josh Allen, Bryce Young, McCaffrey, Achane, Mixon at running back. For the wide receivers, Mike Evans, Chris Olave, Downs, Egbuka, Trey Harris, Hollywood Brown, Adam Thielen. To complete my stack, I just took the back stack Bryce Young, the tight ends, Andrews and Kincaid. So I'm stacking up Josh Allen in that way. I don't have any Philly players. I don't have any Seattle players. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to bring any in. I've got a mini with Achane and Evans and Egbuka and another mini with Mixon and Harris. I mean, I like this team. It's fast. It's furious. We're ripping this draft. It's a poodle. It's 22nd. And you guys tried to bury me in a wide receiver avalanche. But I think I pulled myself out. I think I have escaped. I'll come out alive. Let's go. So, I mean, I could have taken Leggett, but I have Thielen ranked ahead of Leggett. Call me crazy. I don't know. If I can get, I don't know, one more receiver could be nice on this one. Probably stop at 5 running backs or even 4. Ooh, Roshan would have been nice. Would have been fine there. I could do Jalen Wright, try to lock up the yeah, I mean, I didn't see another obvious pick there for me. Geno keeps falling. I just don't have a great way to connect to Geno. If anything, I would take like Danny Dimes later with my Josh Downs. And then I thought it was just too early for the tight end that I want. The tight end that I want, I'll be taking. I have like 2 or 3 tight ends in mind. I could take them all. My next pick is probably fair. I mean, Hunter Henry's still there. Otten's still there. There's so many good tight ends left. You guys have been really late on the tight ends. Danny Dimes goes 182, so pretty sharp room for quarterbacks. But Geno Smith is still there. I just don't have a way to get to him. I don't need him. I'm not going to go QB. I'm looking at running backs. I've locked up the Miami backfield to some extent, but we still just don't know. Hunter Henry there, I guess that's the way to do it. All right, well, I took Hunter Henry. Maybe could have taken Otten. Maybe could have waited for Jatavian Sanders. I'm cool with just having Thielen for the stack. Getting a little falling value on Hunter Henry. I think he's also just a very good tight end. There wasn't like a running back that I had to have at that pick, though, is why I didn't just do it. And then, yeah, whoever got Geno at a value, I don't know if they were pushing with Brock Bowers, 184 to Nice and Blunt. No, he didn't have Bowers or Myers or Besh. He just, taking a falling value on Geno. A combo of the two. That's hilarious. Can't go through Waco without stopping at health camp. Okay, the more you guys say health camp, the more I recognize it. I swear, one of my friends, she probably had mentioned health camp. The more you guys are saying it, it's like this must be familiar. Yeah, I'm gonna go Coker. Go Coker there. Done at wide receiver with 8'2", 5'8", build incoming. Most likely. Or is this the rare 4 tight end build? I'll just throw in a Taj Brooks. Just take a player that I like on a good team. Give me some upside. Scored a ton of rushing touchdowns at Texas Tech last year. Over the last 2 seasons, had a ton of 100-yard rushing games over the last 2 seasons. Had like 20 consecutive games with 90-plus yards. 20 or 22 out of his last 24 games in college. Taj Brooks to the Bengals. Could be the RB2. I don't know what I should have done differently. Super strong running backs. Still ended up with 5 of them. Probably could have gone hyper fragile and just taken 4. So instead of Jalen Wright, maybe I pivot to an extra QB. Or one more receiver, although I don't know who else I would have needed. Or a 4th tight end even. That would have been kind of crazy. Okay, this will be fun. Someone do it. Someone post who's in the pre-draft room that filled before this one. Someone post it on Twitter. Tag me. I want to look at that one. Post it with this draft board too. My 3rd poodle. I'll probably do it from my phone because it's really easy to do it, to share from the mobile. I always have my phone up drafting with us so I can keep tabs on the players going and just kind of see everything. And in case like the stream lags or something. I love the Achane pick. I moved him up a bunch in my rankings, so getting him at 17 with McCaffrey felt like a really strong combo. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Totally excited for that one. Bijan. I need to get more Bijan. I have CeeDee Lamb, so I have it exactly as it was drafted here. Chase, Jefferson, Lamb, Barkley, Bijan, Gibbs is how I have it ranked. I did have Gibbs ahead of Bijan to start, but now I've gotten so much Gibbs and not enough Bijan. I've flipped those two again, just staying closer to ADP. I need to get more Robinson. No planes for me. Who Hames? Me and you, we're gonna draft a team. We're gonna get to a finals. Probably a best ball mania. We'll drive you. We'll do a little road trip. Peppers doesn't want to be here. Can I get a refund? Peppers, you're Jalapeno Jenkins, right? Because I recognize Jalapeno Jenkins, and I know you've been here with us before, so I know you're in this room. You gotta be Jalapeno Jenkins, right? I think I remember that correctly. You got Kamara. I love the pick. You got Addison. I love both those picks. I was considering both of those guys. You got them both. Make him pay for passing on Rome. They tried to bury me. I recovered very diligently. I drafted Olave, Downs, Egbuka, Harris, and then Hollywood, and then even Thielen, and then Coker. Nice try. Yeah, Steve's in the pre-flow. Who Hames, Hartman. What a sharp room. That room might be, is just as sharp as this one. Take all the receivers. Hartman trying to bury me out here. Gotcha. Yeah, with the Mixon. Yeah, I saved you. I went Mixon. You went Juwan Jennings pretty early. But we both had elite QB, 1 receiver, 2 running backs. You went Juwan Jennings. I went Mixon. Band practice? No, I wasn't in the band. I was a tennis player in high school. I still am a tennis player, but shout out to the Bearcats. We were a really good tennis team. And it's not just me. I was like the 10th best male on my varsity tennis team as a sophomore. Our women's was the number 1 5A women's high school tennis team in the entire state of Texas. We were, as men, we were ranked like 20th or something, which is still pretty good, but like our women were really good. We won state when I was a freshman, but I wasn't on varsity yet. We were runners up my sophomore year, quarterfinalists my junior year, and I was a Houston citywide champ. So if you're familiar with the ranking system for competitive tennis, I was a citywide champ for 16 and under. So when I was 15, I beat everyone who showed up at a tournament over a 2-day stretch. Open tournament. Anyone can show up. You can play. You're in a bracket. You lose, you're out. You have to go all the way to the top. I think it was 8 matches over 2 days to win. And so you're called a champ after that. And then you get into the super champs, which is a tournament of champs. So now to get into the super champs, you have to have already won a citywide open tournament, and then you can qualify and go play as a champ across other cities. So I only cared about being a champ because it got me guaranteed to be on varsity, because everyone on my varsity high school team had to be a citywide champ. You couldn't make varsity without being so, because our team was that competitive. So I did it for that reason. I didn't really compete to do super champs because those were like the kids who went on to play tennis in college. And I already knew I was going to the University of Texas for academics. I was not good enough at tennis to play for UT, which is a very competitive school for sports, of course, and obviously tennis too. But I did have a lot of classes with tennis players who were on the UT tennis team, and they were very smart and super athletic. But long story short, no, not band practice. But I am a tennis player. Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to rip these. We're gonna get into another poodle in like 30 seconds. Let me catch up with y'all. Trombone players are people too. Hey, shout out! I love band players though. Shout out to the band. The band. Band is great. No, 100%, Patrick. He is going. He's going to be going in the 110s. What's the difference between Dobbins and Najee Harris? Tell me that. Buy a bag of Sonic Ice. Very Texan of you. Yeah, people would spike the slushies. That's a thing. Underdog testing my patience. What up, Seth? How you doing tonight, brother? Hope you're doing good. Hell up, Brian, buying the DraftKings stock. Remember, like, back in 2020 or even 2019 when, like, the Robinhood app was a thing? For a short period of time, I had a Robinhood account. I closed it after, like, a year or two. Whatever. I used it for a while. Ended up not liking it. But I remember buying a bunch of DraftKings and then selling it. It was one of the stocks that I bought on the Robinhood app specifically when they were one of the first brokers to get into fractional shares, which was really cool at the time. Now everyone does it, but you could buy, a fraction of a share of DraftKings. And so I remember doing that. DraftKings was one of DKNG. Yeah, DraftKings. One of the stocks that was fun to do. Pitbull or poodle after this? Doing a poodle. So a 20-second poodle in like 30, like gonna be entering it in like 30 seconds. Just gotta catch up with the boys, the bros. Damn, okay, we're drafting heavy then. We're doing a lot of poodles. 6 already. Yeah, that was like my 3rd, right? A flutist. Nah. No, I do play piano though, so piano player, not in the band. Me and my friends so a lot of my friends in high school, a lot of my current still friends, very musical, and I played piano growing up, and so I was the keyboardist in my friend group's garage band, and we just had a bunch of guys that would hang out and like play together, so we weren't like a real band, but we did play a couple shows. We did one at Main Street Crossing in Tomball, Texas. So shout out to small towns outside of Houston. Tomball, Texas, Main Street Crossing. It's still there. It's like a bar, cafe kind of thing. We did a show one night and all of our like high school friends showed up. It was really fun. At that time we called our band Limelight, kind of like Rush, the Limelight song from Rush, but we were Limelight. And what did we play that night? We played, I can't even remember anymore. A lot of classic rock though. Yo, what up, JT? Appreciate you being here. Hope you're enjoying your vacation. Thanks for dropping by, my friend. They always fill pretty quick. The poodles always filled pretty quick, but it seems like, yeah. Full on Jethro Tull. There we go. My favorite keyboardist of all time, Ray Manzarek of The Doors. Incredible stuff. The solos, Riders on the Storm. I mean, incredible stuff. To name one of many, but don't push Mahomes. They did do 2 poodles last year. It did feel fast. Was the second poodle the one where you only made money if you're in the finals? I can't remember. Yeah. It was definitely a different one. My Scatterbo ownership is pretty good. So you're right. It's only 20%. Never pass on Scatterbo. False. No, Scatterbo. Go watch his games. Go look at the stats. Dude is generational. Yep, gotta be clicking Scatterbo. It's like I do have 999 notifications. I don't want my secrets unveiled. I'm getting some guys on this board. Who Hames, we're about to find out. Paul Southworth, what up, brother? 390 drafts, 51% Scataboo. Help. You know what? Just for Paul, we're going to hit the clip. Boom. And I should have hit that after the last draft when I actually did draft Scataboo. But if that doesn't get you hyped, the stiff arms, he's throwing people into the shadow realm, catching passes over the shoulder, juking people out for the touchdown, the breakaway runs, but he's not fast. Well, guess what? You can't tackle him. Doesn't even matter if you can catch him. Scataboo to the moon. 51%. I'm jealous. A lot of Scatabros in the streets. I think so too. I mean, hashtag Scatabros matter. Hashtag no, I know ball. Yeah, as an RB4, as RB3, I think is real solid. Billy, GM, how you doing, brother? Hope your Tuesday's going well. No, Nick, come on in. Come back into the, get in back in the circle. You can't have 3% scat. We got to fix that. Yeah, impressive. Reflect the sun. You'll catch up. Anywhere from around pick 100, hammer scat. RB3, hammer. Yeah, doing fine. Yeah, speaking of a scat video to play. Sub 20%, I know. It's a shame. Also, the exposures are, I guess I drafted him once earlier today, and I think last night. So he should be about 21%, 20.5%. Love Mason. Snipe you on Bryce. Oh, you had T-Mac, huh? My bad. Yep, the T-Mac snipe. I like Bryce. Bryce is a fun QB. I like to backstack him. 0% Mason, but Paul. Jordan Mason was the third leading rusher in the NFL in 2024 through the first 8 games, only behind Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. He got hurt later in the season. He's no longer on the Vikings, but he's on Kevin O'Connell's. Sorry, he's no longer on the 49ers, but now he's on Kevin O'Connell's Vikings. He destroyed the Vikings. Like on the 49ers, Jordan Mason put up such numbers against the Vikings. They said, holy shit, let's take note. Let's get this guy on our team next year. And they did. And they got him for a steal because the 49ers couldn't afford to pay him because they just paid Ayuk with the bum knee. They already paid Purdy and McCaffrey. So they let Debo go. They let Jordan Mason walk for nothing. We'll get you in on Mason. He's exciting. He's a great rusher. He's going to be fun. I hope. I'm taking a bunch. I did see Gritty's exposures. Shout out to hit him with the Gritty. Mike. Yeah, I've got a shout out to Steve and Fanspeak. Make sure you're subscribed to the Fanspeak Network on YouTube. Consider subscribing to their Best Ball subscription on Substack. It's a premium, but it's a super good value. I'm subscribed. I use the ranks for the Eliminator, the Sprint. I didn't actually end up ever uploading any rankings for the Marathon, but they've got all the ranks. They've got the articles. Great stuff out there. Make sure you check out Steve's channel, the Fanspeak Network, and their Best Ball subscription on Substack. Very good stuff. Love the music. Appreciate you. Speaking of, let's throw it back on. Or should we do... Until we start the next draft, we'll at least be doing this one. Yeah, goal line touches. Right's a nice handcuff. You know, just mixing them in. Maybe I can get all of the Dolphins backfield with that pick. I don't know. Seemed like it was there. Right, ADP. 82% Adonai Mitchell for hit him with the gritty. That's crazy. That's insane. But hook him, maybe. Super flex. Devontae Walker. Whew, 80 Mitchell. Yeah, maybe mix in some Mason with this Scattaboo. Not a bad idea. Ramondre, yeah, I know, we all know Gritty loves Ramondre. Yeah, I didn't get the deposit bonus in Texas. I don't know if anyone else in Texas got it. I did not get that bonus. I was bummed. Game 7 of the finals. Ooh. Yeah, that's hilarious. A positive side. Here's the driven snow. What? I don't know if, Dirty, I don't know if you're in the Midwest. I forget exactly where you are. You're definitely somewhere where it snows, because Here's the driven snow is like the most Midwestern thing I've ever heard. No one in Texas would ever consider saying pure as the driven snow, but that's just funny. It's a very regional thing. Bugging the phone. We're about to get right into another one. Yes. I think. Oh, it won't load. Steve was DMing me. Steve was DMing me it was like 12 minutes ago. I'm still so far behind. The pre-flow draft board, but we'll work on it. I couldn't open it. I think it's something about. We linked it, but if you can send the image, we can figure that out. Skier P. Yeah, it's been a while since been in an old school Avalanche. I know. That's what I was thinking. The Avalanches. And I'm going to change up the vibe. Let's go back to this one. The Avalanches, it's been few and far in between. But this was an Avalanche draft. Hunter, Pearsall, McLaurin, Ladd, Gibbs. Anytime you get Jaden Daniels with Terry McLaurin, you're going to have a good time. Yeah, I haven't gotten any bonuses from Underdog this year. It must be a Texas thing. Donta Fit. What's up, brother? Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. Rams defense not giving up 3 touchdowns. Ooh, called out that Bijan take for the 3 TDs. Yeah, the Rams defense going to be a good one. Hopefully it's a shootout, though. I'd like that game to be a shootout for my Falcons and Rams bags of players that I've drafted. But appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a good Tuesday night, my friend. Are you drafting any poodles? We're about to get into another 20-second poodle starting almost immediately, but I'm still catching up with the chat. Oh, okay. I'm learning. Good shout. Nick Constantino. I'll have to follow up, get some more FFPC advice. 2-time back-to-back main event champ. Incredible. Wow. Very impressive. See, I'm new to the FFPC streets. I don't know my history. I don't know who the previous winners are. I need to learn. I need to do some research. Get caught up. Yes, Jalapeno Jenkins. That's right. There he is. Yo, what up, Mike? I knew you'd be lurking around. Glad to see you're watching on the Twitter. Make sure you hop over on the YouTube too. Throw me a like. Appreciate you being here. We're just talking about your exposures. The people. They're interested. You know how to work a crowd, Mike. That's for sure. People always want to know what is gritty drafting this year. Can't even scroll that damn far. I'm doing an WNBA draft while I wait. True. Next draft. You're not wrong. I mean, usually you guys are pretty right. Yes, Tiger Woods of tennis. I mean, I'm a huge Tiger Woods fan. Probably my favorite athlete growing up. Tiger Woods. Huge fan. So what a compliment. Appreciate that. High T start. Yes. So Steve, I saw the pre-fill in the DM, but I think I'll click it again. I think it's just a link. I need the picture of it. Deep in the chat. Yep. GameStop. Oh shit. Now we're talking back about the Robinhood days. What a mess. Yeah, I know, right? Tomball does have the biggest Renfest in the US. I've been many times. I used to go in high school. I don't know that I've been since college, maybe just once, but yeah, Renfest in Houston. It's a huge deal. It's very impressive, very fun. Manzarek is the GOAT. Love it. Oh, Steve jumped in. He's in the pre again. Scatterbros. Let's fucking go, Green Bean. Nice. True. This is a good counter argument, but also Scatterbro. He's slow, but he can't be tackled. Le'Veon Bell, ring a bell. Tracy over Scatterbro guy. Ugh. Maybe you should stay. Maybe you should hide that comment. No, I'm kidding. People, I wasn't in on Tracy last year, so like I'm not. People who drafted him last year probably still really like Tracy because he paid off, but I wasn't in on Tracy, so it's hard for me to come back around to him. CBK 0% scat. Oh. Y'all are funny. So you were the trombone player. Yeah. Yeah. It helps. I'm 6'4". I've been 6'4" since I was 6'3" my freshman year of high school, 6'2.5", 6'3". Been 6'4" for a while. So one of my doubles partners also was dual varsity basketball and tennis, and he's now a urologist. So go figure. Always been into dicks. No, I'm just kidding. He's 6'7.5", 6'8". So we used to play doubles, and people would just be like, "What?" And we would lose a good amount too because like the competition's tough. But people would we'd walk on the court and they'd be like, "What the hell?" And then we'd have like really good serves, really good net play. We'd still lose a lot of them because tough competition, but memories, high school sports. Oh God, reflect the sun. Hilarious. Hilarious. True. That's a good argument. I also like Aaron Jones. I've always been a fan of Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a stud. Aaron Jones is very good.
That's a good point. Okay, let's check. Oh, there it is. 15 minutes ago. Incredible. Here, I'll do it from my phone. I'm going to repost on Twitter. I'm going in my phone to get the draft board, and then we're going to do one more poodle real soon. I swear. I promise. Okay. I've got the poodle draft board. I'm going to repost Hartman's post with this draft board. And I'll tag a few of you on it, but do me a favor. And then, yeah, Nick Bach already saw it. Shout out to Nick. Oh, David. Hell yeah. David, I'm going to follow you on Twitter. You better follow back. David posted it too. I'm going to repost yours. I'm going to quote Hartman's with poodles are flowing. And then at Steph, at CBK. Who else? Who else is in here? Dale, are you on Twitter? Not sure. Can't. Who else? Oh, yeah. David, I just followed you. Hell yeah, you followed me back. That was quick. Who else? I'm just going to go ahead and post it. If you all want to like comment on it. If you want to. You don't have to. But we can find each other. We can look at each other's teams. Hell yeah. David, that was a quick follow back. Appreciate you, brother. I was kidding, but I was also dead serious. Cristobal Lee, shout out. Let's go. Okay, I'm caught up. You guys have said like 10 more things in the chat now. I'm not even further behind. In Colorado. Yeah, Colorado, or should we like to say North Texas. Far North Texas. Look at a map from 1839. Come back to me. Colorado's just North Texas as far as I'm concerned. No, love Colorado. Was just out there. Not really that recently, actually. I was in Tahoe recently. Got my mountains confused. It's been a while. I haven't been to Colorado in over a year. Yeah, that's the argument. Grinding out the whole chat. I try, but it's never ending at this point. No way. Okay, who hames? This we'll have to draft this before it fills. I'm in for a fast draft $20 contest. I forget. I think my promo code is code garage. I want to say it is. I'm like 99%. Oh, yeah. In the description here, if you're new to fast draft, you get like a huge deposit bonus when you sign up, but you also get another $50 deposit bonus if you use code garage, I've done some fast drafts on stream here before. It's been a while. We did it kind of during the NFL draft when they had one of the Origins tournaments going that was open. The Origins 2 was open during the NFL draft. Nick Bach on the Twitter. What up, Mike? And then PPR Tyler was on here, and he and I did a couple times. I'd love to do more fast drafts on here. I think it'd be a great idea. Maybe this Friday for Fast Draft Friday. We'll get in there, do the $20 rake free. I'm all about it. I've done like 30 Origins drafts. I've done a bunch of the Flex 4s. So they're fun. You can finish those drafts in like 8-10 minutes max. Really good for lunch breaks. Really good for getting your oil changed. I don't know. Standing in line somewhere. Things like that. You played against Le'Veon in college? Holy shit. Yeah, more for me. I'm cool with it. Same thing. Some people don't want any Jaden Blue anywhere at any time. More Jaden Blue for me. How many touchdowns does Scatterbro have this season? I would say over under 5 rushing. Total touchdowns over under 6. As like a very conservative guess for me, off the top of my head, with no research, no prior knowledge of this. He had 24 total touchdowns in college last year. The dude is he's got a nose for the end zone. I don't know. He was the first player since Christian McCaffrey in the FBS to post 1,500 rushing yards, over 1,500 rushing yards, and over 500 receiving yards in a single season. If Ashton Genty didn't exist, he would have been a Heisman contender. Went under the radar. Okay, let's get in this poodle. That's the motivation I needed. Okay, I'm gonna catch up with the chat, but let's get in this poodle, guys. A 20-second poodle. We max the Schnauzer tonight. The Greyhound is apparently never gonna fill. Going in 3, 2, 1. Poodle time. Instant filled. Steve made it in. David made it in. I'm in the 3 spot. I didn't see that coming. That filled very fast. Apologies, JT. Hope your vacay is going well. You got me. Sweet. I'm a good Twitter follow, I promise. You're in the 13th round of the draft that started when I started attacking the chat. 90% Rashi, love it. I've got a ton. I'm at like 60 or 80% Devontae Adams. A stat line? I don't know. What did Tyrone Tracy do last year? He can do that. What did Tracy do last year? 805, 301. Scatterbro can do that. Well, then why not draft Tracy? He's already done that before. Why not just draft Tracy? Because Tracy's not going to do it again because Scatterbro's going to do it. And then the upside from there is just like, who knows how high. I don't know. That's 8 total. I think that's pretty good, pretty aggressive. Not in the FBS anymore. True. Yeah, who knows? The Giants might turn around that offense pretty quick. They've got Neighbors. They've got Dart. It could turn around quick. Hard to know, but totally. Peace, Reflect the Sun. Hope you have a great one, my man. Thanks for stopping by. Let's go. Appreciate the GLs. You have to get it in. If you live in a state where Underdog drafts are not legal, you got to get them in. You got to do your road trips to Oregon, your road trips out of Canada, etc., etc. When Danny from the Fantasy Stock Exchange was on BALLSY last week before Neil's episode, he was talking about how he drives from his where he lives in Canada across the border into New York, into Buffalo, New York, to draft Underdog teams. Incredible. It's like a 2.5 hour drive, I think he was saying. Always. The overflow insta-filled too. This poodle's insane. No wonder it's going to fill Friday or Saturday. I really don't want to do slows, but I do want to max this poodle. I guess sleep is for the week. We're going to stay up all night. I'm going to go make a coffee and we'll draft 6 more of these bad boys. Not really, but we'll finish this one out. I know. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Couldn't help it. I feel bad, but there's nothing I can do about it. I've been there before. But at least you can draft with us from the overflows. Still, hit us up in the chat. Reminisce. We've covered a lot of topics tonight. AJ Hernandez, shout out. How you doing, brother? T. Higgins is still there. Wow. Tyreek Hill went. I mean, I was between T. Higgins and Rashee Rice on my last pick, so love to get him there. Because, like, if I look at my combos with Justin Jefferson, I've taken Rice on almost a third of my teams, kind of a lot of them. Higgins, I've taken a good amount too. Both of the Higgins. Not a lot of entry fees, though. Seems like my 17 Justin Jefferson teams are all a bunch of schnauzers, which that does ring true. Different tournaments, I get different luck in where I'm drafting from. The first schnauzer that I maxed, I got Justin Jefferson a ton. And that was when Saquon was still going above him in most drafts. So I got a ton of Justin Jefferson. In this last German Shepherd, there was a 20 max. I got like 6 out of my 20 were CeeDee Lamb teams. So a ton of CeeDee Lamb. I had that comment up for way too long. About to cook. Let's go. Another number 1 in the pre-flow. And you got into this one in the 6th spot. Animal Madman. Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. I hate when it doesn't come together. Apparently there's enough of us in the chat right now that are drafting. There's at least enough to fill 2 rooms. So you're in good company. Yeah, I don't see Tracy as a big threat. Tracy's not a legitimate running back. He is a wide receiver hybrid. And Scataboo is actually a great pass catcher, so doesn't even beat him necessarily in that area of the game. Oh, green bean, sorry. Faked you out. Can't do the zealous allegiance to a click like that. Sorry, seems cult-like. Wow, big words. And Saquon Barkley, of course. Gotcha. Andrew Thomas, right, with the Giants. 6 in the overflow. Sometimes he goes there. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you slap that like. Appreciate you guys being here late on a Tuesday night. If you're on the West Coast, not so late for y'all, but here Central Time, East Coasters, getting the drafts in. This poodle's going to close. We got to get these drafts in. Don't want to do a bunch of slows. 62 likes on the stream. You guys are too kind. Appreciate y'all for being here. I never check likes. I hardly ever look at it, but we're ripping through these drafts tonight. We're having a lot of fun. Smith just goes. I'll still take Hurts, though. Hurts is just undervalued. So I'm probably not going to be taking Mahomes or Burrow, but I can still get McCarthy. I just won't pass up on Jalen Hurts in round 4. He just seems like a great value. I don't take a lot of James Cook. I've got him ranked pretty low. Okay, there he goes anyways. Could be a 0 RB team for me. If I go Kittle here, I think I will, and let's go. We'll see, though. It might not be like a true 0 RB build. I just might go like later RB. Yeah, me too, Billy. Me too. The whole scare that happened with New York, that was kind of crazy. I think Christian McCaffrey is an incredible first-round pick. We'll see how high he ends up going in the first round. Like, would you be surprised if he was the 4th or 5th overall pick by the time the NFL season is kicking off? Maybe not. Yeah. You guys filled up that other room. Very bullish. Love it. Right in line with what Tyrone Tracy did last year, and maybe even higher. So I was being very conservative on my estimates, but you finished the pre-one. Nice. Well, Steve's definitely getting these poodles in. Definitely. A calm 10-15 on the West Coast. Yeah, incredible. Probably the most likes ever got on a stream. Thank you guys. Shout out to the chat. Thanks for being here. Having fun, ripping poodles. Let's get into it. Hey, Anthony. Appreciate you being here. Nice stuff earlier today with Who Hames. Always good to see you on stream, my friend. Hope you had a good Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by. Yes. Fun show. Interesting. Peanut Punch. Love that. Throwback to Peanut Tillman. AJ Hernandez, enjoying the stream. Appreciate you being here, brother. Thanks for the kind words. Thanks for stopping by. I followed you back on Twitter. Shout out. If you're not already following me on Twitter, consider it. If you're on Twitter, why not? At FFB Garage. Let's get back into this draft. The next pick, it's a 20. I mean, Burrow's there. Like, obviously, Burrow's there. The one time I don't want to take him. Someone's about to get lucky. Ebson is about to get Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison, Jameson Williams, James Cook, and Joe Burrow. I'm not going to stop him. I took Jalen Hurts. I probably, who knows what could happen, but I wasn't going to pass on Jalen Hurts. So then Burrow's not really in the cards for me at pick 70. Probably not Mahomes either. One more Jamar Chase Burrow super team that we're going to have to compete with. So not really a zero running back team at all. Just kind of a later running back team. I go Montgomery and Judkins. Montgomery makes sense. Decent pick, for this team anyways. And then they bring back for Justin Jefferson. I like Judkins. I think he's good. I've been following him since his days at Ole Miss, when as a true freshman he was dominating the SEC. So, Judkins, I click him a good amount. Pick 75, why not? I considered going Golden or Reed or even Diggs there for a minute. If I really wanted to continue to build out the strong wide receiver group that I have. I'm still a little bit behind at wide receiver, but when you have T. Higgins, Rashee Rice, and Justin Jefferson, are you really ever behind at wide receiver? And the answer is no. You can't be behind with those guys. Could be the 2 touchdowns a game. So essentially we're drafting him at his floor, and his ceiling could be really, really nice. Is kind of the Scattaboo Bull take. Scattabulls, Scattabros, Scattabulls, Scattabears. Who's going to get Scattaboo in this draft? We'll find out soon. Yeah, Bucky, if you look at his splits for the second half of the season, how he was trending, how they're going to intend to use him going into 2025, it's hard to be out on Bucky Irving. I'm very in on Bucky. I love taking him. In some drafts, you'll see him going at pick 17. Other times, you'll be lucky to get him in round 3 if you can, but I think he's a good pick at the 2-3 turn. And I could easily do Jordan Mason again. Or else Pittman or Higgins. I kind of want to go Pittman. And then see what happens. I don't know. If Pittman comes back from the back injury, is he okay? Is he good to go? Speaking of Tyrone Tracy, goes pick 95. And Kyler Murray. So the Burrow drafter also takes Kyler Murray. I guess I don't hate that. It just seems like a little bit of overkill at the QB position. Jordan Mason over Travis Etienne. I think so. For me. It has been all summer so far. Etienne is moving up, though, fast, aggressively, rising. So I still get Mason, even though I passed on him at 95 to get, or 94 to get Michael Pittman. I think getting Pittman there helps my receiving droop out a little bit. I like this squad so far. I have to keep an eye on where McCarthy's going to go. Hopefully 123 is plenty enough to get him. Yeah, a lot of good takes on both sides. I mean, I can see it. I've seen people doing it, but it's rare, and I like that. I think it's a good call. Yeah, true. The Scata. The Scata debates. Scataboo, Scata debates. I have a good feeling that McCarthy is going to be there at my next pick. So let me line up some other picks. Before then, 1-3-4-1 build on this 22nd poodle. Me from the 3 spot with Jalen Hurts, Montgomery, Quinshon Judkins, Jordan Mason for my running back room. My wide receivers are Justin Jefferson, Rashee Rice, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman Jr., and tight end George Kittle. So I have the double elite, the elite tight end, and the elite QB. I honestly don't feel like I'm behind at running back or receiver, though. So this is nice. I went ahead and took Christian Kirk. Early season upside. Maybe Rashee Rice starts a little slow. Who knows? Maybe Pittman starts a little slow. Maybe Kirk never loses the job to Jalen Knoll. Hard to say, but interesting build on this one for Eddie. I'm going to snap pick JJ McCarthy to complete the Justin Jefferson to JJ McCarthy stack. Also got Jordan Mason for the team stack. David Montgomery for the Week 17 bring back. He did have like a 39-inch vertical. And then, I mean, I personally think the combine testing is a little overrated. So like worrying about a 40 time, but people do point to it. Yeah. If Goddard comes back around, I'll definitely take him. I could have taken him there. It's not a bad idea. Because I have George Kittle, I probably wouldn't reach for Goddard at 123 or 118, but like it's not a bad idea at all. I'm also not afraid to take Hurts completely unstacked. I mean, I hope so. I think so. I drafted a ton of Kirk during the big board when he was still a Jaguar. But now he's a Texan. I've drafted him here and there. Certain builds fits better than others. Kind of the wide receiver dead zone after Burden and Bateman go. And if you like Kirk, you can tag him in there. And you can see, I mean, there's 3 wide receivers drafted in round 10, 3 in round 11, 4 in round 9, 4 in round 8. So really it thins out 8, 9, and then it really, the wide receiver dead zone is like 10, 11, 12. Round 12 is like peak dead zone for receiver. The double JJ, it's cold. I like it. Isn't it fun? In the cold. Cold like Minnesota. What up, Mike Swift? How you doing tonight? Hope your Tuesday is going well, my man. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping by. Are you drafting the Poodle drafts? This is a 20-second Poodle. I think it's like my 5th. We did one. Bindles and Neil Orfield and I did one last night on Bindle's stream for our Ballsy show that he and I co-host. We did our first Poodle there with Neil. Super fun. I did one earlier today on PBR Tyler's stream. I was in the chat, not actually on the stream, but just chilling with the bros. And then, geez, we did 2 schnauzers, and then this is like the second. So I guess I don't know. I've done like 4 poodles. It's feeling fast. I got to get more in. Okay, this is a snap pick for Goddard. Stroud's an option if he's still there. I don't think he'll be there though, and it's not the pick that I need to take the most. I kind of like all of these running back picks. I think I'll do it though. Stroud to Christian Kirk. No, okay, Stroud goes. That's fine. I was considering it for a second there. I was like, I don't know. I won't steer y'all wrong. I told y'all I don't know how far he's going to fall, but I'll take Jaden Blue. I've got plenty of Algier. I've got plenty of Eckler. Let me start to mix in some more Jaden Blue again. Double JJ. During the big board, I was getting a ton of teams with Justin Jefferson, JJ McCarthy at like pick 142, 147. If I was lucky, I'd get Addison in there or Hawkinson. So I built a lot of the double stacks with JJ McCarthy. He was super cheap. Week 1 starter, book it. For who, though? Christian Kirk? Or did I miss somebody else? Could be. I've taken some Felton. I don't know. I've taken him a little bit. See, 6.8%. Naylor, not as much. Haven't drafted him yet. I mean, I think we just saw his career year, and it didn't really, like, even his touchdown weeks, he didn't put up enough yardage to hit your lineup. So, like, even in Naylor's seemingly best spike week so far, it wasn't enough. So it's tough to get there for me on Naylor. I like Dowdle. I like Pat Bryant. Gives me a mini with the KC pick that I have. I like Alec Pierce, of course. Two, 4, 6, 2 build. I just took Jaden Blue and then followed by Pat Bryant. Franklin and the rookies. Quinshon Judkins, too. McCarthy, kind of a redshirt injury. You know, injured his rookie season with the meniscus in the preseason. Kind of a redshirt year for him. He is a sophomore in the NFL, so. Yeah, I'm going to go Dowdle there. I think Dowdle's a great pick at 170. Maybe has standalone value. Definitely a lot of contingent value. Great offensive line. Should be a better team. Not a bad shot though, Billy. I like what you're thinking. Maybe some Tesla in round 18 for the bring back. Could be fun too. Yeah. I've been back and forth on that. But I'm pretty sure he will hold down a job. And even if I don't think he loses outright his job to one of the rookies, even if he's not playing in like every single 2-wide set. Even if he's losing some snaps or in some formations, because I am pretty high on Higgins. I do think Jaden Higgins potentially is playing in those 2-wide sets, but also Kirk can do it. Kirk can play in the slot. Kirk can play outside. So, what up, Raphael? How you doing, brother? Hope your Tuesday's going well. Thanks for being here. Are you drafting these poodles? They are they're closing fast, so I'm trying to get some in. Did I hear Pat Bryant? Came at the right time. Who hames? I got Pat Bryant at 166. Goes nice with Rashee Rice, if I do say so myself. A combo I think you might be quite familiar with. Victor A, what's up, brother? Hook 'em. Hook 'em, baby. Giants might not win a game for 5 weeks. If they don't win a game for 5 weeks, you're going to see Jackson Dart coming in quick. But I think, Russell Wilson's not a complete pushover. I got Downs, right? No, I have Pittman. Lions. Vikings. Eagles, there's no one left. Never is. Bills, didn't get there. There's no one worth taking. I don't really feel strong enough to take Ty Johnson or Elijah Moore, or Curtis Samuel. I'm going to let Hunter hit there. I'm going to go with 6 running backs. I could stop with 2 tight ends because I've got Kittle and Goddard. I could stop with 6 receivers. I mean, I'm not going to. My next pick's either going to be a tight end or a receiver. Most likely a receiver. I think that's kind of the order I'm interested in getting them. I could have gone Giddens there. Maybe I should have taken Giddens over Hunter in this case scenario because I've already gotten the Daniel Jones and the Pittman. But I do like getting a Ram on every single team that I draft because they're the Rams offense. Kind of want a piece of that. I think Jarquez Hunter has standalone value. I think he has contingent value. I think he's good. All SEC first team running back last season for the Auburn Tigers. And he's just good. So a bunch of rookie shots. Judkins, Blue, Hunter. A lot of split backfields. So Steve grabs Keenan Allen. Adonai Mitchell's there, Tesla is there, and Felton are there. I will take one of those options if I can. Otherwise, I'll scramble and grab like Coker. Or a tight end. I don't need a tight end. Dalton Schultz is still there. Terrence Ferguson. Dale's on YouTube only. Well, I appreciate you being here, Dale. Nonetheless. %90 Dowdle. Strong. For his price tag, I don't hate that at all. I think that's a strong pick. Okay, it's Mitchell or Tesla or Felton. I think it's Mitchell. Easily could have gone Ty Felton. I think. Let me just take another piece. I already made the bet with Daniel Jones, so maybe he can be a difference maker for the Colts offense. Maybe he's exactly what Adonai Mitchell needs to get going with his NFL career. And I think Mitchell has a lot of touchdown upside. He's a big touchdown guy in college. That was kind of his thing. Big plays, touchdowns. Pittman is just good. Kittle and Goddard. Goddard. Excuse me. Goddard never plays a full season. He's never played a full season. It's been a long time. But he's really good when he plays. Kittle also incredibly good and can play through injury. So maybe that's the Iron Man Kittle combo with Goddard stacked that you need. Pretty nice wide receiver group for only going with 7. And then the running backs attacking it with volume. A lot of split backfields and some pretty talented teams. The Lions, the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Rams. We think the Panthers will be better. Maybe the Browns, a decent team, fighting for a playoff spot. Who knows? I like it. 3-6-7-2 on this poodle build. That's hilarious. I have them ranked like, if I check where I have Dowdle ranked, I've got him ranked at 150, but I usually don't take him until like around pick 160 plus. Later, JT. Appreciate you being here. Catch you in another one real soon. Interesting. Yeah. Very fun drafts. Appreciate y'all being here, getting these poodles in. We're going to keep drafting poodles all week long. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do some more drafts. Thursday night, Hartman and I are going to go live. We're going to draft some poodles. We're going to talk FFPC. We're going to dig into some research. If y'all want to shoot me anything on Twitter, you can tag me. You can DM me. Anything related to FFPC I think would be helpful. We're going to be drafting. Hartman and I are going to be live streaming and drafting an FFPC Big Gorilla on Saturday night. And then cooking up some more stuff. We have another ballsy show coming on the channel here Monday night. We had a great show last night on BINDLES channel with Neil Orfield. This next Monday, we have PPR Tyler. Haven't officially announced it yet, but it's going to happen. So it's going to be a super fun show. A fan favorite. Another extra special, amazing guest. Can't wait for it. He might try to get us to draft a super flex. Who knows what will happen? I might have to go special purchase some Bapples just for the occasion. Some Bush Apple beers that we know PPR is a big fan of. Make him feel at home. That's going to do it for this show. We did it over 3.5 hours, 4 drafts, tons of chatting it up with y'all. Appreciate you being here. Love it. What a thing to end it on. Catch y'all in another draft soon.
let's kick it to the outro. Appreciate you. Catch another one. And then double tabling, David. Very impressive. Killing it in these drafts. Thanks, Steph. Appreciate you being here as always. Putt Daddy. Nice and blunt. Good to meet you, man. Thanks for being here. Hartman. Fun stuff coming up. Billy's. All right. Later, bros. And Kriyoth. Let's kick it to the outro.